from like length and width.
Length and width.
Wow.
Yeah. Which
Wow.
is insane. A California King.
The most people he's had in that bed.
Yeah. I bet you lost count.
Well, I mean, Wemby is killing it right now. Victor Wembanyama. I think Spurs are unbeaten or close to it.
He's ridiculous.
31 points, 32 minutes per game is what he's averaging. So that's a point per minute. 19 blocks so far this year. He's 7'5" now. It just dawned on me when you were saying this that he had a special mattress in Acapulco. I was thinking at Wemby at 7'5", the part of the pool at my house that I dive into is only 7 feet. That's the shallow end for him.
Dangerous for him.
He can just stand in the deep end of the pool, and he's 5 inches out of the water.
Yeah, I mean,
bet he wins every game of Marco Polo.
Oh, there's no doubt. Yeah, he can go anywhere in the pool.
Yeah.
Or like in my pool, you know, we used to have some pretty good volleyball games, but if you're serving from the shallow end to the slanted end, you've got the advantage. His whole bathing suit would show in the shallow end.
But guys, listen. Prostate health to kidney stones, everything in between. They have you covered with 16 locations. Find the one near you, 205-930-0920 or urologycentersalabama.com. For over 70 years, UCA has provided state-of-the-art, patient-centered urological care with integrity and compassion. That's the kind of place you get at urologycentersalabama.com. LT and I use them. You should too. urologycentersalabama.com.
Now, if that's too much, 12 different appetizers to choose from. I'm a fried dickle pickle man. I'm a fried dill pickle man.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. We start first. Where are we on pickles? I like pickles.
I love pickles, Lance. Love them, but I don't
love
like
fried
this.
pickles.
I don't like this either.
You like for dickle pickles or just?
No, they've done this once before, right?
Yeah, it's not good. I've tried it. I think we tried it. I think we ordered a bunch of them and tried them up here or something.
Yeah, so Jimmy John's Viral Pickle Witch returned to the menu nationwide just a couple of days ago on the 27th with more ingredient options and a new pickle-flavored ranch. Now, the limited-time menu item originally went viral in 2024 after sparking a wave of reactions online and in stores. Fans shared videos showing the breadless sandwiches built entirely inside of a sliced pickle, leading to widespread sellouts in multiple markets.
And lawsuits?
Yeah, this could not look any less like the promotional photo.
That looks like you cut a leech open and stuff some bullshit in it.
I think it was Brooks that said it kind of looked like a hot dog, and yeah, it sort of looks like a pickle hot dog. Yeah.
How much did this abomination run you, Scott?
Oh, I don't remember. Way more than it was worth.
I mean, but it's just, it can only be as big as the pickle that you're putting the meat and stuff in,
true.
right?
That's right. That's what she said. But that's just too much pickle taste. I love
pickles.
I love pickles too, but I don't want like overwhelming pickle on every bite.
Too.
That's the thing. It's got to be an accessory to a sandwich.
I love a wickle, man. Those wickles.
Those are good.
I eat the okra and the pickles. It's a side item sometimes.
Yeah, you used to be a big sponsor here. You need small hand models for this.
You do.
Which is 100% they did that. 100% they did that.
Yeah, go back to the really happy girl. I think she's got small hands. See?
Yeah, well,
that's
that's
Demi Lovato.
That's what I was going to say. That's a famous person.
Oh, that's Demi Lovato.
Yeah.
Activity like we do, you belong in the Roback family. Get the best golf wear, hoodies, and active wear for men and women at Roback.com. Use promo code TNR20 to get 20% off your order. That's Roback.com, promo code TNR20.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new Chicken and Bowberry Waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a Bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try Chicken and Bowberry Waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, a car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to Shinara.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
NFL football returns tonight. Ravens and Dolphins. We'll talk about that big game coming up a little bit later on. It is still a playoff contender in Baltimore despite their record. Still the betting favorite in their division. Auburn basketball, final tune-up tonight in Atlanta against Memphis. We'll talk a little college basketball, squeeze that in a little bit. Tulane in football-crazy Louisiana playing tonight in college football in San Antonio. They've got a chance to maybe make a big move towards a college football playoff ranking. We'll get to our buddy Jon Sumrall's team in a second. But we'll start with the craziness that is politics and football in the great state of Louisiana. Joe Klatt told us last week, people are calling me out saying that I woke up yesterday, LSU was a top 6 job in college football, and they started throwing names at me. And I would agree that some of the names they're throwing at me, it's like when you do any list, top 5, top 6, you start naming them, and sometimes you end up with 9 teams in your top 5. You know what I mean? But LSU is a great job. Always thought it was until the governor talked yesterday. Klatt called it like, other than Texas, I think he called it the best job in the SEC.
Texas, Ohio State, LSU.
Yeah.
I think, and
I think
maybe
most
Ohio State, Texas, LSU.
Yeah, I think most people say Ohio State is 1, but I think LSU's top 5. I don't know if it's number 3.
Well, I think anymore.
It was top 5 until yesterday.
That's what I'm saying. I woke up yesterday. It was a top 5, top 6 job, and then the governor talked.
Yeah, this is silly.
I think anymore though, there are so many factors that determine what a good job is that we've got to tap the brakes when we start talking about what is or is not a great job.
Oh, it's one thing. It's money. Your access to money.
Yeah, Texas Tech 10 years ago was probably where?
Well, if you're talking about the Power Fours, I mean, it was the bottom 10%.
Texas Tech right now is where?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, it's not in the bottom 10%.
No, it's in the top 50%. I mean, it's
Jim.
I mean,
you got a billionaire that's like, I'll go buy anybody you need me to buy, and all of a sudden they're a Big 12 contender with the same coach that before that was winning like 6 or 7 games.
They may finish 3rd or 4th in the league. So I want to see the money buy something in a Big 12. It's not, I want to see it work. I don't know where it is yet.
Okay, Ole Miss 10 years ago was
one of the
middle of the pack in the SEC.
Yeah.
I thought it was one of the 2 or 3 worst jobs.
I mean,
in the SEC.
I think middle of the pack's being kind.
Well, I mean, 10 years ago would have been Hugh Freeze, who played in a New Year's 6 bowl game in Peach. That'd be 14-15. So
okay, 15
that was a decade
years ago. Then, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Ole Miss has been generally considered one of the bottom 3rd jobs in the league.
Yeah, we were doing a show when they had one of the longest losing streaks in SEC history.
And now
in 2011 and 12.
And now you can debate, does Lincoln even consider leaving for LSU or Florida from Ole Miss? I mean, so jobs change based on a lot of factors that are difficult for us to even know now. So I think when you start ranking jobs today, you gotta tap the brakes a little bit. It's a changing world we live in.
So you don't rank them at all, or
no? You can rank them all you want. I'm just saying you've got to tap the brakes on. This has always been a top 10 job, so it's got to be a top 10 job. I mean, there's so much that has changed in just the last couple of years of college football that what once was a top 10 job may not be anymore.
Absolutely,
ever again.
Absolutely. I mean, Army was a good job at one time. Yesterday in Louisiana, I'm doing this backwards, because this is my favorite part from yesterday. We'll let you hear what the governor said, but in the process, the governor said that, no, Scott Woodward he's not gonna hire the new coach. That's my Brian Kelly.
That's pretty bad.
That's my Brian Kelly shot at speaking like I'm from Louisiana.
If Saturday Night Live, and I don't know what they do anymore because I haven't seen that show in forever, but if they don't take this and run with it for this weekend, they are insane, because that's what it looked like. It looked like a skit.
It really did.
Scott Woodward's the AD. He's not hiring the coach, says the governor. It's actually going to be the Board of Supervisors. Well, the guy that you're about to see is Scott Ballard, who is the chairman of the Board of Supervisors, and he gets this question from the great folks at your Channel 2 news leaders in Louisiana, WBRZ.
Governor Landry announcing today in a press conference that the Board of Supervisors will be heading that up. Do you have any response, any comment at this time?
No, I didn't know that.
Do you have any idea what the next steps might look like?
Next steps are we're going to go hire the best coach for Louisiana State University. I promise you. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
I just didn't know it was going to be us doing it. My bad.
You got to give that to me again.
I guess I need to start watching college football.
Got to give that to me again. At a news conference earlier today, and then I did not. Yeah.
Governor Landry announcing today in a press conference that the Board of Supervisors will be heading that up. Do you have any response, any comment at this time?
No, I didn't know that. Next steps are we're going to go hire the best coach.
Now he gets excited.
Yeah, all right. I get to hire the coach. Yeah.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
And is Coach O in the mix? I mean, I know Orgeron wants it, but is he in the mix? As he gives me a Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
No, I don't think they can go back to Orgeron.
Oh, man.
He tapped out too quickly.
I love that the governor's like, we got this under control, everybody. The Board of Supervisors is going to be doing this. And the head of the Board of Supervisors.
Are we going to listen to the clip from the governor?
Oh, yeah. Give me cut one. That's next here. Now, you're saying, wow, a lot of people have gathered for the governor to comment about the LSU job. This news conference at the state capitol. Now, remember, his main job is governing the state of Louisiana. This news conference that he is called here at the state capitol of Louisiana is about the end of the SNAPS program. If the government doesn't reopen it on November 1st, SNAPS goes away. 750,000 Alabamians, that's a big percentage of our state, is on SNAPS. More in Louisiana is on SNAP. Higher percentage of people in Louisiana is on SNAP. So everybody has come to this news conference to hear the governor talk about SNAP's program. Is the state going to be able to help out? Blah, 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 blah. Here's the governor of Louisiana talking about a more pressing thing than food for the needy.
We are not going down a failed path. And I wanted to tell you something. This is a pattern. The guy that's here now that wrote that contract cost Texas A&M $70-something million. Right now, we got a $53 million liability. We are not doing that again. And you know what? I believe that we're going to find a great coach. I mean, maybe we'll let President Trump pick it. He loves winners. You know? I'm not going to be picking the next coach. But I can promise you, we're going to pick a coach, and we're going to make sure that that coach is successful. And we're going to make sure that he's compensated properly. And we're going to put metrics on it. Because I'm tired of rewarding failure in this country and then leaving the taxpayers on the foot, to foot the bill. I can tell you right now, Scott Woodward is not selecting the next coach. Hell, I'll let Donald Trump select it before I let him do it. I don't know, but the Board of Supervisors is going to come up with a committee, and they're going to go find us a coach. Because wait, I want to hold on. One real quick thing on that. Because here's what y'all reporters need to do. Y'all need to start looking at who represents all these people, like these agents. You know what's interesting? If I'm not mistaken, Woodward's agent, Kelly's agent, the Texas A&M, they're all the same agent. Like, you realize if I would be, I don't know how many sports writers we got here today? Just you. We should have a bunch. Okay? Like, this is ridiculous. Lawyers would be disbarred for the way these agents act and the way they're able to represent. In fact, there's no doubt, they may even represent some of the players now. Like, it's really time for the NCAA to put on some guardrails in college sports. Because, and it's fine. We don't need the guardrails. If big billionaires want to spend all that kind of money, no problem. But if I got to go find $53 million from Kemp, it's not going to be a pleasant conversation. I'm just telling you. I know. And I think that that's important as well. Y'all should start looking into that.
Don Leo signing back there. Okay, a couple of things.
Listen.
I just wanted to know, is he from Louisiana?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if it was a Brian Kelly sort of situation.
You see the podium has protecting the most vulnerable is up there. That's what the news conference is about. He's doing all this. Some things just aren't correct. They're not correct. The taxpayers footing the bill. No taxpayer money is used in this. By the way, it's all athletic money that's paid through television contracts, a school.
If you're going to go on this rant, be prepared.
Yeah.
And also be prepared for the crackback of, I used to love going to New Orleans. And one of the reasons I don't go as much, there's a couple of reasons. One is because we don't have those Southwest flights, $100. And there was such a demand for them. I still don't understand why we don't have a direct flight to New Orleans. But I've got friends that won't go anymore because the crime is so bad. When you look at Louisiana, 3 of the top 9 most deadly cities in this country reside in Louisiana. When you look at
New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and Shreveport?
I think it's New Orleans, Monroe, and Shreveport.
Okay.
And Baton Rouge is in the top 15 or 20. When you look at the top 15 most visited cities in America, New Orleans isn't one of them, which is insane when you think about that.
By the way, the potholes and roads are so bad in New Orleans that Tulane's uniforms last week had potholes in the design. It's such a big part of New Orleans.
Are you kidding me?
No.
I was going to tell you, it's one of the top 5 worst infrastructures amongst the 50 states. Louisiana is one of the top 5 states. They have so many issues. And for this guy to not even be informed on what he's talking about is comical. I mean, I love this. I love the passion. I've got way too much passion for the Rams. But this, and to say the sitting AD, I mean, what does that say for Scott Woodward? I mean, is he looking for a job today?
I mean, a lot of times when people are upset about what Congress is doing or isn't doing or the president or whatever, they're like, he needs to be focused on this. Guys can focus on more than one thing at a time. Like a governor's got to handle a bunch of things at a time. But to Lance's point, you've got so much on your plate. Why are you dipping your toe into this? I mean, this is just nothing but political grandstanding. I mean, to invoke President Trump's name twice, I mean, just such silly political pandering.
That was another note I made. He intended it for a compliment.
To President Trump?
Yeah, he did. But I'll let President Trump hire before I let Scott Woodward hire. Well, so it's President Scott Woodward's so bad at hiring,
That's right.
I'll even let Donald Trump hire him.
Yeah.
I mean, is that a compliment? This guy's so bad at hiring, I'll let Donald Trump do the hiring.
Well,
has anybody talked to Scott Woodward?
If I'm Scott Woodward, I am hunkered down right now. The last thing I want is a microphone in my face.
Oh, but I want to see it.
So this is literally...
This was their throwback uniforms last week.
Is that AI?
No.
You gotta be kidding me.
They included the potholes as part of their uniform. You see it in the helmet there.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, the cracked streaks.
Hey, look at that one, the first green wave FB.
Yeah.
And look at this effing streak.
Click through it's a cool uniform. I didn't love the helmet.
The helmet's a lie. Keep going,
Now,
Tyler.
Dunaway, I think you were a New Orleans fan, and you might still be. I know Brown never was. I used to love this city. Like, it would go 2 or 3 times a year for sure. But it has become a shithole, and it has become where you were told, hey, look, don't go too far on Bourbon and don't veer too far off in the quarter. Now you can't even walk down Bourbon and feel secure.
Yeah, I don't know why the governor's dipping his toe here. And it ain't helping the search. I can go ahead and tell you that.
No.
I mean, what gets lost in him.
You don't think somebody's wife's going to be like, hey, like, it's a good job, honey, but, like, you're going to make millions and millions of dollars. You're going to have opportunities to win championships other places. Do you really want this regime behind you?
I mean, what gets lost, Jim, in him going after Scott Woodward is him going after Jimmy Sexton. I mean, he, without saying his name.
Because he didn't know it.
Probably not.
He didn't know it.
Somebody had told him, hey, they all got the same agent.
Yeah, he heard it on Sports Talk Radio, I'm sure, as he was sitting in his office. I
probably waiting on hold for a call-in.
He could be one of Feinbaum's callers.
Let's go to Jeff in Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
Paul, what are we doing down there?
Another thing that I don't think, he's talking about we're done with these type of contracts.
No, you're
now,
not.
you think that's attractive to a coach?
No, exactly.
Yeah, we're done with these kind of contracts. Well, first off, it's not like Brian Kelly is getting more money than he was owed. It's just you signed a 10-year. This was the money that Brian Kelly. He signed a contract.
This is why he left Notre Dame.
Yeah, this is the contract he signed.
Yeah,
and it's just the money you owe him with what you signed. It's not like it's some penalty payment you're having to make, and we're gonna have metrics tied to it. So an elite coach who can choose to go to elite programs or leave an elite program is going to take a job that's got metrics tied to it, like I'm going to make this much money lesser than my peers, but if I win 10 games, I'm going to make this.
Sam Pittman did.
If I win 11, Sam Pittman did.
To your point, Sam Pittman did. Yeah. Sam Pittman was an offensive line coach at Georgia who was given an SEC job, and he was like, I'll do whatever it takes to get that job.
Ed Orgeron would do it.
Right now, yeah.
Jimbo Fisher might.
Maybe only because he's got that large buyout.
Yeah, he's got $77 million.
That's right. That other guy negotiated.
Yeah. No, look, they're not going to have they're not going to have a problem finding a coach.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying. But finding the best coach.
I mean, if you were Dan Lanning, would you jump into this?
By the way, we need to back off Dan Lanning. Chris Vanini reminding us all, until the 9th year of the contract, until his 9th year at Oregon, his buyout to leave is $20 million.
Yeah, when I heard Pate talking about, he's got some kind of contractual, I don't even know what it is. There's some kind of layer with Phil Knight. And I guarantee you Phil Knight was like, okay, if I'm going to win a national championship before I die, this is going to be my guy. We got to keep him. So I don't know what that agreement is, but I heard Pate say Lanning's really not in the mix.
Let me reword it. If Dan Lanning didn't have that deal, do you think you'd jump into this?
I think he does love the LSU program.
I think he might, but I think I would. Listen, where Governor Landry is not wrong is Jimmy Sexton has not been a positive for college football.
Depends on which side of the street you're on.
I'm on the street of I'm a fan of college football, and I want it to be as healthy as possible.
No, any street outside of being the head coach.
Jimmy Sexton Avenue.
Yeah, I don't think there's a benefit outside of being a head
Jimmy
coach.
Sexton, I don't really think this is arguable. Jimmy Sexton has not been healthy for college football.
Well, I can tell you my role here is just to push conversation down
devil's
the street.
advocate. Give me devil's advocate.
I don't believe that you end up with Kalen DeBoer in Tuscaloosa if Jimmy Sexton is not involved in the mix. You know what I'm saying? I think.
So you don't think if Kalen DeBoer were?
I think Alabama.
Yeah.
I think Alabama is better off right now because of its relationship with Jimmy Sexton.
So if Kalen DeBoer were represented by Bob Smith and Greg Byrne picked the phone up and called Bob Smith and said, we'd like your guy to be the head coach at Alabama, you don't think Kalen DeBoer would have taken that job?
Why do you think Sexton helped out with that?
Yeah, I need more on this.
Because I think we pushed Kalen DeBoer more than anybody.
I would say that Jimmy Sexton became Kalen DeBoer's agent when?
I think pretty recently.
The year before his championship run.
Right.
And I believe there's a reason why.
Yeah, but I mean, we got to give ADs. I mean, we take shots at ADs for some of the deals that they construct behind the scenes that ultimately cost millions and millions of dollars. We got to give some of these guys credit. They're not dumb. I mean, if you didn't know Kalen DeBoer was a really good coach,
I think Greg Byrne's one of the best ADs out there, and he had done his research. I'm just saying that with Jimmy Sexton as his agent, if Alabama didn't have a great working relationship with Jimmy Sexton, I'm not sure Kalen DeBoer would have come.
Well, but I don't think that means it's healthy for college football.
Yeah.
It's working out good for Alabama. Yeah. I mean, they've got Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah, but what if they pissed Jimmy Sexton off one day and Jim's like, it's a great tradition, great history.
Like he might at LSU.
Great fan base. But you know what? I'm not sending you. You don't need to go there.
That's part of the game. Yeah, absolutely.
That's not healthy for college football.
Yeah.
I mean, Jimmy Sexton's not healthy for college football. But it's not his fault that these dumb athletic directors just keep signing these deals. I mean, he takes some of the deals and they sign them, so I can't blame Jimmy Sexton for that. It hasn't been healthy for college football, but he's just doing what the athletic directors let him do. So, I mean,
Trace Armstrong was the agent for Brian Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was a huge deal. I mean, that's a huge deal that he got at LSU and had nothing to do with Jimmy Sexton.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, I think that's just the market right now. That's what
it's a dumb market. I mean, and it has not been healthy for college football. It's not. To throw this kind of money around at failed coaches is not healthy for the sport. And the sport is to blame. I think you're mishearing me, Jim. I'm not blaming Jimmy Sexton. Jimmy Sexton and Trace Armstrong and all the other agents out there just do what the athletic directors will sign off on, or the board of regents, or the big booster, or whoever. But it's not healthy for college football. I mean, this is not a sustainable model where you keep throwing $75 million, $53 million, $100 million at failed coaches.
Yeah, I don't mind the $10, $12 million a year, but I do think it is a problem when it has become laughable. Even college football or non-college football fans are like, damn, fire me for the money.
How do we get to the world where Kirby Smart could be guaranteed $100 million pass or fail? But if Kirby Smart decides he wants to go be the coach at Texas, Georgia probably gets a couple $1 million. It just makes zero business sense, none whatsoever. I mean, and the schools are the dumb ones that have signed up for this.
It's the length of the contract. Like if I signed a contract with you guys for 3 years and it's a 3-year contract,
right?
Then it's my salary for 3 years. That's how it's a $110 million buyout.
Yeah, I get that, but so you've got all the protection and the school has none.
Yeah.
That's the point. That's terrible business.
I'm contractually obligated to you guys at that point.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
For $2 million you are, or whatever Kirby's buyout is. And that's the problem is it's all one-sided. The coach gets all the protection and the school gets none. None. And that's just dumb business on the school's part. I never understand why they do that. Well, I do understand.
They want that coach.
That's right. And that's why it's not healthy that we've gotten to that position. I mean, it's not healthy for college football. Landry is dead on about that. Now, he probably doing it in a press conference for snaps was probably a bad idea. And I don't think it's going to help their coaching search at all, but I also don't think he's wrong.
So who has started the conversation with agents right now if Scott Woodward's not the guy hiring the coach?
Well, the guy who found out yesterday over rubber chicken at some other event to fix snaps or potholes in Louisiana. Show being brought to you by our friends at Company Distilling. Can you get Company Distilling in Louisiana?
You can get Company Distilling, not in Louisiana yet.
Not yet.
Close, though. Colorado, Florida, Georgia, Missouri, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, and right here in Alabama. But it is moving along. Hey, look, ask your local state store to get Company Distilling if they don't have it. For more information on the great product, CompanyDistilling.com /Alabama. Company Distilling also 3 must-visit locations across Tennessee. Townsend, located in the heart of the Smokies. Lynchburg, a charming and historic setting. And Thompson Station, just outside of Nashville. Whether you're on a weekend getaway or planning a whiskey road trip, one of these destinations should be on your must-visit list. Perfect stops for summer travelers. Check out the website, CompanyDistilling.com, for a full list of events.
Central State Bank, been serving Central Alabama for more than 100 years. They don't just open accounts in that 100 years. They've opened relationships. Family-owned, community-focused, and built on trust for those 100 years, where they've served Shelby County and Tallapoosa County and could serve you as well. With local decisions, personal service, it feels like home. So whether you're starting a business, buying a car, planning for tomorrow, they are there every step of the way with you at Central State Bank. Rooted in community, driven by relationships. Central State Bank, member FDIC.
I would just say this about the salary thing.
Okay.
It is an enormous amount of money. We never thought Nick Saban was underpaid 1 second in Tuscaloosa,
In
right?
fact, we never thought he was underpaid?
We never thought he was overpaid.
No, he was, if anything, underpaid.
Yeah. So not every coach is going to win. So that's the gamble you take. The salaries are the salaries. It's capitalism. I'm a capitalist. I think you guys are too. If you're tying salaries directly to performance or profit sharing or this or that, that's more socialism than it is capitalism, right? That's more of a socialist belief. I mean, the market sets the salary, and that's what capitalism is.
I don't think I'd go as far as you're going there to say that. So you say if you do an incentives-based contract, that's more socialism than capitalism?
If my contract is just we're all going to, all the SEC coaches are going to make this amount.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think incentives-based is more based on level of experience. Like, I mean, when you hire a Sam Pittman, Arkansas was taking a gamble on Sam Pittman. I wouldn't have thought Brian Kelly was a gamble. I don't think Dan Lanning would be a gamble.
Yeah, but
I don't think Lane Kiffin would be a gamble.
It was his first job at Oregon.
Who, Dan Lanning?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying right now. I'm saying right now, if you were to hire him away, or Kirby Smart wouldn't be a gamble if you were to hire him away. So I think sometimes, incentive-based would be if a guy's hungry for a job. Some of it depends on how hungry he is for that job.
Yeah, and somebody will take LSU because they're hungry, and that's a winnable. You can win there. You can win big there.
Everybody has.
Yeah, so we'll see what they end up doing. One of the biggest mistakes Brian Kelly made, two historical facts here from Ross Dellinger, who was there covering LSU when both of these things went down. When Brian Kelly was hired, one of the first things he did in his coaching staff was move Tommy Moffitt, the guy who created Scott Cochran, by the way, who Alabama fans know very well. Scott Cochran was a protege, underling of Tommy Moffitt. Tommy Moffitt was a strength and conditioning guy for Nick Saban, for Les Miles, for Ed Orgeron, end scene. Brian Kelly comes in, fires Tommy Moffitt, the strength and conditioning coach that built LSU. We know how important Scott Cochran was in Tuscaloosa. He took the Tommy Moffitt plan to Tuscaloosa and saw what he did with Saban.
And I think you could even start to look at a correlation of when Cochran left Alabama as far as championships.
It may have changed a little bit. Where's Tommy Moffitt right now?
I've heard that name, but I can't remember. My guess is going to be Georgia.
Nope.
No, it was Tommy Moffitt is A&M, right?
What's their record?
Yeah, they're undefeated.
He's at Texas A&M. Yeah.
How'd you know where Tommy Moffitt was?
Oh, it was a storyline last week.
Okay.
Yeah. He's at Texas A&M.
Yeah.
That strength and conditioning is pretty important. And then if Lane Kiffin likes this job, we take you back in history. Lane Kiffin is leaving Alabama. Remember when they went, all was ending with Nick Saban?
16 after the Washington game, right?
Yeah.
Lane Kiffin had told then AD Joe Oliva and head coach Ed Orgeron, I will be your offensive coordinator. Lane Kiffin had agreed to be the LSU offensive coordinator back then, and then Florida Atlantic gave him the head coaching job. So he had already agreed in principle to be the OC at LSU, according to Ross Dellinger.
Yeah.
He was on his way to be the OC, leaving Nick Saban, and he was going to go to the evil empire LSU and be the OC for Ed Orgeron and the LSU and all those great athletes down there. And thank God Florida Atlantic hired him, or he would have gone to LSU.
That's a better job. LSU OC is better than Florida Atlantic.
I think I would have kept the LSU OC. Now, it worked out for Lane.
He was ready to be a head coach.
It worked out for all because I mean, Lane with 2019 would have been the exact same thing. We might not even know who Joe Brady is.
That's true. I mean, what happens to Joe Brady at that point? I think more and more when stuff like that comes out, when we say on this show, and people are like, why do you say that? That there have historically been people in Tuscaloosa that have made it very difficult for Lane Kiffin ever to come back there as the head coach. I think when more comes out, you see why that is the case. Now, as I said to Lance the other day, the more time goes, the fewer of those people will be around in Tuscaloosa. So you never say never about that. But I can tell you the prospect of Lane Kiffin being the successor to Nick Saban died sometime around what you're talking about right there, Jim. Sometime around what Ross Dellinger reported there.
More, I think, on his actions that brought the end to his time with Saban. More than him going to LSU, it was what had him going out the door and why he didn't coach that national championship game, which, by the way, was in Tampa that year. It was announced yesterday, Tampa officially getting the national championship game back for the first time since Alabama's loss to Clemson down in Tampa. They'll get it at the end of the 2028 season in January of 2029, Tampa. So Miami this year, Vegas next season, New Orleans with all the potholes, and the year after that, and then back to Tampa we go. So technically, 3 of the next 4 played in SEC country for the national championship. One more thing to get to here in our opening segment, brought to you by our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing. That's our buddy Greg from Pell City. He and his wife Andrea. Boy, I don't know if you guys follow Storm Restoration Roofing or Greg from Pell City on his socials, but last Halloween he was dressed up like a vampire, he and his wife Andrea, and I don't know what they're dressing up as tomorrow night, but you can get a lot of tricks and very few treats in the roofing industry. And Greg wants to make sure the best treat he can give you is a free, no-cost roof inspection. Absolutely free. Contact him a variety of different ways. You can contact him on Facebook, Greg from Pell City. You can call the number on your screen, 205-542-3531. Or you can go to his website, real easy, stormrestorationroofing.com. A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. They handle storm damage, roofing replacement. Greg's got a builder's license. He can help with some small repairs on your roof. Great with insurance agents. Gets you the most that your insurance will provide you, and even has some family-friendly financing available if you need to bridge the gap there. Locally owned for over 20 years, Greg from Pell City, 205-542-3531. Our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing, and Bojangles bringing you the start of our show today.
That's right. Bojangles, the place you can go for those high school football and college football tailgates. They have those great hand-breaded tenders and the great dipping sauces that go with them. All the great sides right there, of course, at Bojangles as well. You can make it bow time when it comes time for the tailgates at your high school or college football game, or when you're just hanging around the house at that college football watch party when your team's on the road. Make it bow time then as well. And on your way to work tomorrow, make it bow time with that pork chop griller back for a limited time. You loved it. It loved you. So go back and get reunited with the pork chop griller for a limited time at Bojangles. Make it bow time.
All right. So last night, the Blue Jays become the first team in World Series history to start a game with back-to-back home runs. And now they lead the series 3-2, going back to Toronto. And historically, teams that win a Game 5 tied 2-2 wins the World Series 31 out of 46 times. So odds are now in favor of Toronto to win the World Series. A big flip since that 18-inning win the other night.
Yeah, the last 18 innings have been dominated by the Blue Jays. And now, the Dodgers go from having a 70% chance of winning this World Series after they win Game 3 to now being, backed in this corner where you got to go north of the border. You got to win back-to-back games. Obviously, with this lineup, very capable of doing that. Savage was so good last night, a rookie with 12 Ks. Now he's got 17 and 2 starts. Blake Snell was not good. You mentioned the fact that Snyder and Vlad go back-to-back for the first time in the history of the World Series. Not a spot you want to be in. And I told Brown last night at trivia, by the way, I can't consider myself a true Dodger fan anymore.
You went to trivia instead of watching the game. I agree.
I used to drop out of trivia anytime the Dodgers were playing a big game or the Lakers were playing a big game. And so I am a borderline, just an average fan of this team now. With that said, I told Brown, needed the Dodgers to get last night because you don't want this thing to go 7 because then you got to give up a TV on a Saturday prime time.
Yeah. Well, here's the question: do you feel like the Jays can win 4 straight against the Dodgers?
It looks more likely now.
Can they win 3 straight? It's the main question, though, because, they could close it out in Game 6, obviously.
I think Yamamoto gets Game 6. Yeah. I think it goes 7. Starting to get a feeling Toronto's going to win this thing, but I think it is going to go 7.
That's going to be one of the biggest postseason upsets we've ever seen, right? If Toronto wins this.
Dodgers were minus 230 in this series. We've seen the Yankees bigger series favorites before.
And lost.
Oh, I don't know about losing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It feels like a pretty big upset. The Dodgers have felt like they were the inevitable team all season long.
Yusevich last night with 12 strikeouts, the most by a rookie since 1949. And, oh, by the way, Forster's microphone. Where did Trey start his season, Forster?
He started the season in single-A ball.
Oh.
With, hang on, I've got the.
Thought he was going to say the White Sox.
No, that would make sense too.
Same thing.
But he started the season with the Dunedin Blue Jays.
Yeah, say it again, Forrester over Brown's Laugh. What was it?
The Dunedin Blue Jays.
Wow, he was the pitcher of the week back in Single A.
Back in May.
Yeah,
he was the FSL pitcher of the week.
So from Single A Dunedin to 12 strikeouts in the Fall Classic.
22 years old. Savage is going to be. If he to be able to pitch like this under these conditions, and again, he had a quality start. Earlier in the series, as you said, 17 punch-outs now in 2 games. I don't know. This Dodger offense. We talked. It is crazy. 18 innings ago, we were talking about Shohei, maybe the best player in the history of the game, and now this offense is completely gone in the shitter. Your top 4 guys last night, 1 through 4, were combined 1 of 15.
Yeah, yikes. Meanwhile, Vlad Jr. hitting in the 2-hole hit his 8th home run. The most, other than Randy Arozarena of the Rays, 10 home runs in 2020. So a big night for Vlad Jr. Game number 6 is tomorrow night, right?
Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Yeah, both. 6 on Friday night, 7 o'clock, and Game 7 Saturday night, 7 o'clock.
All right. So we'll see if the Rays can finish it up tomorrow night. When we come back, more football for you. The show being brought to you by our friend Dr. B. LT's hair is on full display today. It is proud like a peacock, sticking up there, ready to roll.
Dr. Beckenstein, best in the business. Again, I do that non-invasive treatment 3 times a week, 30 minutes each time on the couch. That is it. Over the last 4 years, my hair has more than doubled in thickness. Make the phone call that I made, Dr. Beckenstein, and that great staff for more than 20 years. Women and men have turned to Dr. B for a range of cosmetic and reconstructive procedures. 205-319-0316. Tell them the next round sent you. Stop wasting money. Critical time while you're losing hair on treatments that aren't working for you. Men and women ordering products online, don't even know if they work. Go see Dr. B and find out what will work. 205-319-0316 or T3hair.net.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, a car accident, or work-related accident, call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to shannara.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger, made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
Never miss anything from the Next Round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, turn on automatic download so you can catch every part of the Next Round. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed, and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed. Thanks for always making the Next Round a big part of your day. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service. Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place, nextround.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt, you can look your best by shopping with us at nextround.store. Take the Next Round anywhere with nextround.store.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Rolling on, correction from me, it was Frankenstein for Greg from Pell City, not a vampire.
Not even close.
Not a vampire. Yeah,
God, look
it's
at
my
that.
fault for jumping on his socials last night and laughing at it, but it was a tighter shot, and I only saw the gray hair, but there he is. And he was talking about how much weight he's dropped since last year. He looks really good. Fantastic. And I don't know what they'll be this year. Does he say in his text what he's going to be this year?
He did not.
Yeah, so that's Greg from Pell City, his wife Andrea at Storm Restoration Roofing. Before we tell you about Lance's Lock in Hemphill, listening to our show, or maybe we're just prophets, whatever, but Bryant-Denny Stadium's opening up for a concert again. First one, I believe, since 1983. Morgan Wallen coming to town Saturday, April the 18th. Ella Langley, smoke. Vincent Mason and others at Saban Field, Bryant-Denny Stadium, Saturday, April the 18th. And first question Alabama fans were texting me last night was, is this going to be tied to A-Day, Jim? Jim doesn't know. Do you know this? Is it tied to A-Day or not?
I think it might be. I did hear this was going down yesterday. I was like, nothing's been announced yet, and apparently it has within 24 hours. I mean, that's right around the date.
Boy, if it's tied to A-Day, then I would not expect much A-Day going on in the actual Bryant-Denny Stadium because you couldn't have A-Day and do a concert.
I mean, that would be a tough turnaround.
Yeah, there's zero chance on that.
So maybe an April 11th A-Day or maybe a Friday night A-Day.
Or maybe no A-Day at all, which is the way we're headed on these things. So this may be an indication that Alabama's already there.
Morgan Wallen, still the problem tour coming to Bryant-Denny Stadium. Lance's Lock, not a problem. Tell us about lanceslock.com and our friends at Hemp Hill.
Another great night. We were one basket away from a 4-0 night for you last night. So we're starting to dial in the NBA back-to-back winning nights in the association. We've got NFL. We've got college football. It's all up and available right now, and the NBA at lanceslock.com. It is always brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Trust the name. Birmingham has trusted since 1954. For any issues related to your plumbing, heating, or cooling, call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there, 205-229-2090. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
Dan Orlovsky with us in the middle of the final hour of the show, around 11:15, to talk about the NFL tonight. Baltimore and Miami starts the weekend off at 7:15 on Prime. Lamar Jackson returning likely from a hamstring injury last night. The play right before the half in the Jack State game was tremendous. Hail Mary from Middle Tennessee to the end zone, 7-6 game at the time. It's intercepted, and then Jack State's returning, guys going out of bounds, so he slings it, throws it to a teammate who's going forward, and then he fumbles it, and then they fumble it into the end zone, and Jack State recovers. They have to review it. Obviously, it ends up a Jack State win, 24-21, but the joy of that play right before the half was the highlight of that game.
Did you catch who the safety was that made the initial interception and the initial illegal forward pass?
I did not.
Caleb Nix, younger brother of Bo Nix.
Oh, how about that?
Wow. Patrick Nix's younger son, starting safety at Jacksonville State. And
completed the pass.
Just like his brother. Guy can't throw it backwards.
Yep, and Jack State wins that. They're 5-3 now, still atop the CUSA standings, like Kennesaw, who won the night before. That big game coming up in a couple of weeks over in Jacksonville. Mo State wins last night. Tulane big tonight. 6-1 Tulane on the road at UTSA. 3-4, 6:30 ESPN. Cut 7. Tyler, Jon Sumrall, friend of the show. His name's being mentioned at LSU up the road in Baton Rouge. What's that, about 50 minutes away?
I reckon, yeah, about that.
Yeah, it's a bit, a little bit longer than Birmingham, Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, but his Tulane team, if they win this game tonight, likely jump into the top 25, likely becomes your favorite to be the college football playoff team in Tulane at UTSA tonight. So all this coaching talk, John, is your team distracted?
What I discussed with our team this summer in late July before we started training camp is like, man, if you're in this room, you're all into this team. Coaches, players, everybody. Like through the season. And the way I defined that for them, I said, guys, this is before the portal window got moved to January 2nd. I said, the portal opens in early December. Man, through the conference championship game, which I would love to be a part of, everybody's undivided attention is on this. And if we're fortunate enough to play in the college football playoff, then man, everybody's attention's on that. But, don't let distractions creep in. There is no mid-season transfer portal for our players. There is no mid-season coaching carousel for me or for our staff. We've got plenty of coaches that have had opportunities to leave last year. If I didn't want to be the head coach at Tulane, if I was most concerned with coaching at a Power 4 school, I wouldn't be here because I've had those opportunities. If I was only making decisions based upon money, I wouldn't be here because I've had other people offer me more money. I freaking love what I do. I love where I do it. I love who I do it with. Man, I'm coaching this freaking team. That's all I'm worried about. Our guys know that. They feel that. If they don't feel that, they need to come hang around me because I'm like a maniac right now. I'm like just getting this team better because we're not great. We're pretty average.
Yeah, and that gets us to tonight. They have played down in a couple of games this year to teams that were not as good as them. With no distractions going on tonight, what do you expect to see from the Wave?
So they've ticked up to a 6-point favorite. You know, when we had Coach Sumrall on last week, I mean, he kind of said the same thing. I don't think he thinks this team is very good. But they're figuring it out. Their only loss in Oxford to Ole Miss, they get blown out of the water in that game. But they're finding ways to win, and they'll have, opportunities against this Roadrunner defense, which is not good. 113th in scoring defense. They give up 31 points per game. This Tulane, and I think this goes to show you how good of a coach he is. Tulane has now won 17 of their last 19 road games, and they've won 10 of their last 11 American games in a really good conference. So although it hasn't all come together like it did a couple of years ago, I mean, they're finding ways to win.
Yeah, I do wonder if the light has come on in this offense a little bit for Retzlaff. He has played better of late. This guy transferred in so late for them. And his last 3 games have been better than what he had done in the first 4 or 5 games of the season. So I do wonder maybe if the lights come on a little bit for him. So maybe their offense starts to pick up a little bit of steam here when it matters the most. And, to his point, he wants to be playing in that conference championship. This conference is wide open right now. Memphis has already lost to UAB and then turned right around and beat South Florida to give them their first loss. So if you're Tulane, you are in a really, really, really good spot in the American right now to try to earn that bid into the playoff.
Big news for Alabama while they wait for LSU. I think pretty interesting news for Auburn. And a crazy weekend in the ACC ahead right after Brownie tells us about Alexander Shannara trial attorneys.
Yeah, he is the guy you go to when you're in need of an attorney. Shannara.com is the website, Shannara.com. Important thing here, you do not pay a dime unless they win your case at Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. Shannara.com, Shannara.com. He is a guy that is Birmingham born and bred. He's always lived in Birmingham. He built his practice in Birmingham more than 24 years. He's grown that practice to more than 150 lawyers, supported by more than 500 dedicated team members, and they've recovered more than $2 billion, maintaining Alexander's core values: integrity, mastery, passion, and success. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, Shannara.com. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case. Shannara.com.
First off, on the SEC teleconference yesterday, news that Isaiah Horton and Lottie Brooks should be full goes for Alabama against LSU.
That's huge. I think Lottie Brooks is a noticeable absence now. He's played himself into the place where against South Carolina, Lance somewhere Rico Scott, and this is no knock on Rico Scott, but I thought Lottie Brooks was a noticeable absence there.
Well, look, and Isaiah Horton was on a little bit of a roll too.
Yeah.
He got dinged up a little bit early in the South Carolina game and was out of rotation.
Yeah,
so he should be good to go for LSU.
I think the only thing that we really heard Horton's name last week was the hold where Jam Miller had a really, really good run, probably his best run of the season, outside of that touchdown against Vanderbilt late. But, when you look at Horton, he had gone 3 consecutive games with a touchdown.
And
actually 3 of his last 5 of his last 6 games, he's got a touchdown reception.
It's got to be a lot of the number he's wearing, but when I look at Lottie Brooks, I see a lot of Jalen Waddle in him. It's the same number, which makes me think I'm just getting caught up in the number. But, boy, I see a lot of Jalen Waddle, and that's a high compliment. Jalen Waddle's a heck of a receiver.
Meanwhile, quarterbacks being discussed every time Hugh Freeze is around a microphone these days because of Ashton Daniels coming in last week and replacing Jackson Arnold. Those that cover Auburn on the regular feel like they're getting word that a few new Ashton Daniels specifics being put into the offense now. Things that Ashton Daniels does differently than Jackson Arnold.
Doesn't throw it as well.
Whoa. Ashton Daniels does not throw it as well as Jackson Arnold?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, look, I mean, it might, maybe it's different because he was playing at Stanford and he's got
feels like a low bar, Lance.
Elite weapons now. Yeah, I don't understand this.
New wrinkles to the offense for those that cover it. But meanwhile, Hugh Freeze keeping it close to the vest. SEC teleconference yesterday getting asked about the quarterback competition this week.
I heard you Monday in particular mention how you were going to split up the reps at quarterback this week for you. Any more clarity on that situation heading into Saturday for you, Coach?
Through 2 practices, it's been, man, they're just, they both are really great guys that prepare well, and they are getting us in the right things. They're setting the protections the right way. They're both making accurate throws for the most part. And so it's really hard to decipher the difference when you are in practice. And that's what's been so difficult is Jackson, of course, has gotten more of the reps because, Ashton wasn't here until late July. And, that's why it's so difficult to decide. And if you look at how Jackson's opened, the last 3 games, it's been pretty phenomenal. And he's played pretty flawless in those. But then in other moments, we just hadn't gotten over the hump and won games. And ultimately, we all, get judged on how the win-loss deal says on the scoreboard. And that's certainly not how you should be judged as an individual for your worth. But so we're looking for kind of a spark. And, Ashton, I think, has the capacity to play really well, too. So it's going to be a tough call. Not quite ready to make it yet, but I have confidence in both of them.
The key phrase there, hard to decipher the difference, and then at the end, tough call. Not exactly what you're wanting to hear, I think, if you're an Auburn fan, because you're really hoping that if Ashton Daniels is a guy that he is killing it in practice and there is separation. If you're not happy with your quarterback play and it's hard to decipher a difference between the quarterback, then it really doesn't matter who you're playing at quarterback, right?
Yeah, and look, I mean, the fact of the matter, I think Ashton was 6-18 his 2 years as starting quarterback at Stanford. Basically, 21 touchdowns, 20 interceptions.
Sounds like he struggled to find ways to win games there, too.
Completed 60% of his passes. Go back to what Nick Saban said, I think it was a couple of years ago on game day. Like, you can pay these guys, but when you miss, you've got a problem.
You're SOL.
And your highest paid player on this roster is Jackson Arnold.
Well, I would just say, and they messed up paying him. There's no doubt.
They made
a mistake in the portal.
When they went out and got Ashton Daniels, you want a veteran presence that you can rep out in practice. And if you've got a critical moment, they can come in the moment. Maybe he's not too big.
And they had to have depth. All the quarterback room was gone.
But if you were to say, hey, look, this is going to be your starting quarterback in October, that's a problem.
Well, here's just the facts of the matter, Jim, because I know, Lance, what you're saying is he does not throw the ball as well as Jackson Arnold, and maybe that is true. We'll see. I think we'll see Saturday night because I'm surprised if Daniels doesn't start.
Yeah, and I could be completely wrong. Maybe he comes out and he's playing with new energy and he knows he's got really good weapons on the perimeter.
My point was going to be, unless something changes drastically, and I don't anticipate this changing drastically, Jackson Arnold for 2 straight years is going to finish 16 out of 16 in the conference in passing. So there's part of me, Jim, that says this can't really get any worse. Now, the one thing Jackson Arnold doesn't do is turn the ball over a lot. So to Lance's point, 20 touchdowns, 21 picks, if that's the right number, one thing Ashton Daniels does is turn the ball over a lot, at least at Stanford. I don't know if that will translate into Auburn. But, when you're talking about a quarterback that is 16 out of 16 in passing for 2 straight years in 2 different offenses in the Southeastern Conference, I don't know how much worse it could really get.
Yeah, look, I don't have a problem making a change at quarterback. I just don't understand why you're not giving, according to Hugh, the future of the program, where, hey, if we gave Deuce an opportunity, he'd probably play really well. Well, why don't you give him an opportunity?
Kentucky and Auburn coming up Saturday down on the Plains. Crazy weekend for the ACC. Before we get to the viewing menu, the ACC trying to be a 2-bid league this year. This weekend could go a long way in deciding whether or not it's a 2-bid league, if they even have a chance. I don't think they do, but maybe they do.
That'd be tough.
They've got 4 ranked teams happen to be all on the road this weekend. Number 15, Virginia. Tricky game at Cal.
Lucky to survive Chapel Hill.
That's right.
Yep, that's my upset alert, Cal.
Cal's marginally better than North Carolina, and you're going out there, yeah.
Number 11, Miami at SMU. Should be a beatdown.
Well, and one thing to look at there, it's 11 o'clock sleepy game. First time they've left the state of Florida all year long.
All year long. Only their second road game, first time outside of the Sunshine State.
How do you make it to November without leaving your state?
That's really insane, isn't it?
Number 16, Louisville at resurgent Virginia Tech. They're at least playing better football. Tricky game for Jeff Brom's team.
So Monty, Philip Montgomery, 3-2 as their interim coach, and I don't know how much you guys watched that game last week. I mean, he has gotten really, really involved, very demonstrative on the sidelines. I mean, he has bought in I think the players haven't quit on him, so that is a dangerous game for Louisville. Dangerous game for Louisville.
And then number 8, Georgia Tech, is playing in Raleigh against NC State, who hasn't been good, but things are starting to swirl around Dave Doran now. Does he need a big win to sort of keep his job at NC State? Here comes number 8, Georgia Tech, who at times does not look like they do anything easily.
No, look, Haynes King, though, I think, if you're a Georgia Tech fan, I think the positive is you had a big game through the air for Haynes King. We thought it was kind of one-dimensional, so kind of showing that he's got a little balance on his skill set. NC State, though, they've lost 5 straight against ranked opponents. NC State just seemed like one of those teams every year they would pull off one of these upsets.
Yeah. Ranked teams on the road in the ACC this weekend, all 4 of them. That's bad for your health, so it's your check yourself Ice Cube weekend in the ACC. You better check yourself, or you're going to wreck yourself when it comes to the playoff hopes. Michelson Laser Vision.
He was the answer to a trivia question last night.
Ice Cube was.
205-969-8100, the number I called way back in 2003. I wore the contacts, such a pain in the ass, taking them out every night. A lot of times I would just sleep in them, so bad for the eyes. If you're dealing with the contacts or glasses, don't do it anymore. Stop procrastinating. Make the phone call that I made. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business. 205-969-8100. If you're watching that 4K, if you want to see life in 4K, go in, get the LASIK procedure done from our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. 205-969-8100, MichelsonLaserVision.com for more information.
You better check yourself.
All right. Can we get another song next segment?
Sure.
I'll sing them all day long. Right. You got a request?
I put No Vaseline in the chat.
Yeah.
One of the greatest diss tracks
of
all time.
Okay.
But, you could go with It Was a Good Day. Yeah. That's a classic.
Yeah. I always love the missed lyrics. Anytime missed lyrics pops up in my algorithms, I always love that one. My favorite all time is Glycerine from is it Bush?
Yes.
That is Bush.
Yeah, Glycerine. I always think it's Kiss Her Ring. Every time they say Glycerine. It works, actually.
I think precious, kiss the ring.
Not on the viewing menu today, but we do have a new re-release in theaters tonight. I will definitely be checking it out this weekend because I've never seen it on the big screen, and that's Back to the Future for the 40th anniversary.
Oh, wow.
Man,
I think I saw that on the big screen.
I saw it on the big screen. I remember it was at Hoover Square. It was Lorner Road, so...
That's where I saw it.
Yeah. But I remember walking out of the theater, and, that was back in the day when you were young and time lasted forever. Walking into one of those movies, it was like such an adventure. It was during the summer of 1985, and, God, what a great movie.
Yeah, it was a fantastic movie.
And that movie might define the 80s more than any other. Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller, those are all in the mix, but Back to the Future, one of the great 80s movies.
I would agree. It just oozes nostalgia and just good vibes.
Yeah.
It's a fun time.
I agree.
And it's hard to believe Eric Stoltz was...
He was originally Marty McFly.
Yeah, and I've seen some of the clips. Have you guys ever seen it?
No.
And they just, Robert Zemeckis going back, he was like, there was just no pop. There was no buzz. And when we brought in Michael J. Fox, it immediately was a completely different character.
There was a bar right next to, there was a dance club right next to that theater, right? In Hoover, Lorna Road?
Yeah, Senior Frogs after the fact.
Senior Frogs.
Yeah, that wasn't during the 80s. They did that late 90s.
What was the name of the guy that played Biff that was in studio with us?
Tom Wilson.
Tom Wilson did not like Crispin Glover, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Crispin Glover's a weirdo.
Yeah, and intimated that nobody on the set liked Crispin Glover.
You know what's great? Like, Michael J. Fox should, get any accolade ever. I mean, first of all, great human, but great actor, all that kind of stuff. I think this would have been one of those movies that we never would have seen or ever talked about if Eric Stoltz is your lead.
You kind of feel that way, don't you?
Yeah.
Next up, Peacock has added The Fall Guy, which came out last year, to its catalog.
Heard it was awful.
It's okay. Some people that were at the same screening as me, who had seen the original Fall Guy TV show, really liked some of the callbacks, but it missed the mark in some areas. But it's a pretty fun time. And then finally, we got a new Netflix documentary, Eileen, Queen of the Serial Killers. Eileen Wuornos remains a rarity, a female serial killer. From childhood abuse to death row revelations, this documentary revisits her life and crimes. And she is known for posing as a prostitute on the highways of Florida, and then she would rob and shoot the guys trying to pick her up.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about this, like, if you saw how ugly she was, these dudes are paying to bang her, and they're banging her like in the middle of the woods. Like, It was such an odd thing. I bet these guys got they didn't even get funerals from their wives.
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah, their
they
wives
were
are so
going
pissed.
for whatever the step below lot lizard is. They're like off in the woods.
One of the ugliest women ever.
Yeah.
Like ever.
Lonely man, Lance.
And that's all I got.
And that's what Tyler's watching tonight. When we come back, another not great stat for Hugh Freeze as we talk about coaches and possible changes. I'm going to ask you guys to give me 5 more jobs in Power 4 conferences that changes. We'll include changes in this that, could Ole Miss open up or not? I want to know 5 more you think are going to open up.
If Auburn is in this, I want to know that Kay Ivey's going to speak out.
At a press conference.
That would be worth everything.
That's still to come on the show. That's brought to you by our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. They're there for you guys for your health, and they'll take care of you. From prostate health to kidney stones and everything in between, they have you covered with 16 locations, all the great urologists right there. For over 70 years, UCA's provided state-of-the-art, patient-centered urological care with integrity and compassion. Find the one near you by going online to urologycentersalabama.com, urologycentersalabama.com, or phoning 205-930-0920, 930-0920, urologycentersalabama.com.
Everything Next Round is on demand now in the podcast section at nextroundlive.com.
Yo, kinfolk, what's good, man? Let me holler at you for a minute. You know how life can be life. You're out there chasing that dollar. Every dollar is accounted for going somewhere. Then all of a sudden, bam! Out of nowhere, a car accident. All I had to do was hit up my people at Alexander Shannara Trial. You already know when that dude Alex pulls up the trial, he shuts down the litigation situation. Yo, go to Shannara.com. Hit him up at 659-777-7777.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation that legal services provided are better than any other provider.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Make plans now for Saturday, November 1st, 11 to 5, supporting Greater Crestwood as they host Crest Fest in the Crestwood North neighborhood. You'll get a day full of local bands, local food trucks, and local vendors. And all the money raised will go to funding new swings and park renovations at Crestwood Park. If you want to support the local Crestwood area, there's still time to sign up to be a sponsor or vendor. Visit CrestFestBHM.com to learn more. CrestFestBHM.com. Catch up on all of today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place. NextRound.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt. You can look your best by shopping with us at NextRound.store. Take the next round anywhere with NextRound.store.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000. Catch up on all today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means that your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
No contract extension signed yet from Matt Rule, despite reports yesterday. Could come today, though. There are people around Nebraska very hopeful that Matt Rule is signing on to stay the head coach in Nebraska. That's part of the coaching carousel ongoing.
Brown's right, though. I mean, you want to get in front of this because you're an underdog this week into USC, and you know what are the optics if you lose that game and then you follow up with an extension afterwards?
It's tricky timing either way. But I mean, I don't know what else you do here, Jim. Like if you're happy with Matt Rule, you want to show that you're happy with him, right? And I assume Nebraska's happy with Matt Rule.
I think you are. I don't think you came up with this, but I know you repeat it often. You don't make a decision about a coach based on one game. So you're either signing Matt Rule long term or not, whether he wins the USC game or not. So it looks like Nebraska is going to keep Matt Rule, which keeps that Penn State job open. If it's not Matt Rule, then who? Brian Hartline getting mentioned a lot, the OC at Ohio State.
Wow, that'd be quite a first job.
Joe Brady, of course, with the Buffalo Bills being mentioned at now two places.
Yeah, I think Hartline's going to be really good. You know, another guy that we haven't talked about that I think really needs to be mentioned because Brock Huard brought him up the other day on Unlocked is Colin Klein. You know, great player for Bill Snyder, then had success as their offensive coordinator, and now what he's doing under Mike Elko. I mean, Colin Klein and a guy that can recruit, people gravitate to. He's young enough. He relates to the players. Colin Klein, along with Brian Hardline, are two offensive coordinators that need to start getting a lot of looks.
So I want you each to give me 5 more Power 4 jobs that will open up either by firing or by the coach leaving to take another job. Before we do that, the show being brought to you by our friends at Inverness Country Club. Tell us about Inverness Country Club. And, Forrest, if you have Brooks's graphic, let me know, okay? Thank you.
Yeah, best days happen at the Inverness Country Club. They've got memberships that fit everyone. You can take a tour of this incredible club by calling Erin today. Tell her the guys from the Next Round sent you, 205-991-8608. You can go online, iccalabama.com. Inverness Country Club, a great place to meet others in the community. Maybe you've relocated or retired. Great place to network. Maybe you work from home. What about working from the club while they watch your kid? Child care, big plus there at the Inverness Country Club. Find your sense of community there. For more information, go online, iccalabama.com.
All right, so just a little historical fact. Brooks sending this graphic out as we speak at Next Round Live on all of our platforms. The most coaching changes in the last 20 years of teams that are currently in the SEC. In 20 years, Arkansas has gone through 6 coaches. Brooks, does that count interim coach John L. Smith?
I did count it because so many coaches. There's been a number of coaches who have had their interim tags removed. So
he actually coached a full season as an interim. So I would have included that too. Very
also
good.
Includes Vanderbilt's 1 year with Robbie Caldwell.
Yeah, but he did a whole season, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, that's when you do a whole season. That's got to count. I mean, if you do 7 games in a season, it doesn't count. So Arkansas, Florida, Mississippi State, and Tennessee, all 5 or more. And then you get to Auburn there at 4, Alabama at 2. Now, if you go back 30 years, Alabama is a different number.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so it's a good place for Bama to be with 2. Only Georgia, Mark Richt to Kirby Smart. But there's a lot of coaching changes there at the top of that list there. 6 for Archie, 5, Florida, Mississippi State, Tennessee. 2 brands there with Florida and Tennessee. and then 4.
So does Arkansas count that this is going to be number 7 coming up?
No, I included Florida's and Arkansas's
Okay.
and LSU's current coaching
okay.
change they're enduring right now.
I guess Tennessee would be the best example of this among those teams at the top, how sometimes you get frustrated and you feel like it's gotten stale, and buddy, you get on the carousel and cannot get off. And that's what happened to Tennessee. And Jim, I'm not saying that it hadn't gotten stale with Phil Fulmer. It kind of had, but
I say that's where I put the blame. We talked a lot about the agent, Jimmy Sexton, and the salaries and all of that, but we all agreed that Nick Saban wasn't paid enough. To me, it's not about the salaries that are being paid. It's the people that are paying these buyouts and not just sticking with the decision they made and letting it ride out. I mean, like if you're at Auburn right now, if you can't get somebody you really, really, truly want, then why jump into the mix?
I agree.
Why not just go with Hugh Freeze again another year and
I
save the money?
said it a couple of days ago. I agree. Yeah, I mean,
save the money.
I don't think you force another hire. They forced a hire with Harsin. I don't think the Hugh Freeze hire was forced. It's weird how this thing is played out. But maybe we're in a time where you need to give these guys, I know this sounds weird, 4 full years. Maybe.
You used to do that when recruiting was what recruiting was, where you're like, well, you got to let him get a full 4-year recruiting cycle in, and recruiting doesn't work that way anymore. I want to credit this guy on Twitter, and I don't have it in front of me because I didn't anticipate discussing this, but I think his name is Jeremy Ivy that tweets a lot. And years ago, he used to say...
Big Auburn fan, yep.
Big Auburn fan. Okay, so have I got the right name? He tweets us a lot. Or not a lot, but, and they're always well thought out. He's an Auburn fan that a lot of times will say, I think you're wrong about this, and here's why. And I appreciate that. Not just like, you're an idiot, do better. He's like, I think you're wrong, and here's why. And he used to say this about Malzahn. He's like, you guys talk about Malzahn like the guy had fallen off the face of the earth. It wasn't near as bad as you guys paint it. And as we look back, I know we called him 4-loss Gus. It wasn't as bad as we painted, I don't think.
No, it was 4 losses, though.
It was, but
I mean, if that's who you want to identify as, like if Auburn can accept the fact that, hey, we're an 8-4 team, which I think there are some programs out there that need to accept that. I'm not saying Auburn needs to accept that, but if you were going to stay with Malzahn, you need to accept that.
Yeah, I mean, he was going to find losses he wasn't supposed to find, and he was going to find wins he wasn't supposed to find. That was the Gus Malzahn experience. But what you've had since has not been an improvement. It has not, and.
But to be fair, I do think in year 3, the roster is better. This defense is borderline, dominant. It's a top 25 defense. So you got a better product. You're playing closer games. This.
Okay, but let me ask you this.
But they are better.
I would take $1 million. I would save the buyout. I'd take $1 million and secure DJ Durkin. And would not let him leave to go somewhere else.
Yeah, and
then I would take the other money I save and throw it into the roster.
And you got to get the right. You got to get the right
governor
GM.
decide on who's coming in with the players, and not let Hugh make that call.
We know how important GMs are. Like Hugh probably doesn't need to make personnel decisions when it comes to quarterback.
Well, I think we've seen that Hugh, he made a mistake at quarterback. That's undeniable. Am I right? Is that undeniable that they made a mistake in the portal at quarterback? Now I said it when they did it, but.
Yeah, I didn't think this. I thought he was going to be good.
But now that you've seen it, it's undeniable, right? Hugh Freeze messed up in the portal.
There was other quarterbacks that would have played better.
There is a chance you could have had Fernando Mendoza instead of Indiana having him. I don't know how the timing worked out, but Mendoza is a portal guy. So if you wanted to get into a bidding war, I think you could have outbidded Indiana. And what's Auburn with Fernando Mendoza?
Yeah,
better.
Better.
Oh, better.
They could be number 2 in the country.
Yeah, they might be undefeated. I know it sounds crazy, but go back and look at their losses. There's no offense. No offense. Now, you have to bring his brother with you, who's going to end up being a pretty good quarterback himself.
So, but to your point, Jim, I would take this money and do this with it. Do you really want Hugh Freeze making the portal decisions right now? Is he not qualified to do it? Is he the guy you trust doing it? But my question was going to be, if you made a change with Hugh Freeze, give me the confidence level that Auburn gets it better than what Malzahn had it. Because that's what you're striving for still, is an improvement over Malzahn. You didn't get it with Harsin. You would have said at this point you're not getting it with Freeze. So give me a percentage of your confidence level that if you made a change right now, you're going to go do that.
Well, you tell me who I'm getting.
Give me your percentage that you're going to get it right. I'm just saying, what's your percent confidence level do you have in Auburn getting that right?
Okay, so I'm probably not one to ask. I thought Hugh Freeze was going to get it right.
That's a good point.
Well, no, I would say that
Jon Sumrall would be right, but if you're Jon Sumrall, do you take the Auburn job right now, even behind the scenes, when you know that you might be able to get LSU?
But there's no guarantee. It's gonna, I mean, I think he'll be successful.
I do too.
There's no
Right.
guarantee.
I do too.
No
I would say, I mean, if we're looking for percentages, I'm going to say 10% because, I mean, I'm just saying, look around college
I
football.
agree.
That's 1 in 10.
Yeah,
So
it's a crapshoot.
So it's 1 in 10, whoever.
This is why it is so dangerous to get on the carousel.
Everybody thinks they're going to hire Nick Saban or
Yep.
Curt Cignetti. We'll go recent.
Like LSU, Florida, and Penn State are open right now. I would say there's almost a 0% chance that all three get it right. Like 5-6 years from now, I don't think we're sitting here talking about, hey guys, you remember back in 2025 when LSU, Penn State, and Florida were all open? God, look at them
You know
now
what it
dominating
is?
the playoffs.
It's when you see 5 quarterbacks taken in the first round.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're
like-
going to get maybe 2 right.
Yeah, 2, and then
Maybe
3 are
2.
going to. I mean, based on expectations, yeah.
Well, that's because everybody's. I try to say, I can never say this correctly, but everybody has the expectation of winning a championship,
That's right.
or at least making the playoffs,
Yeah.
and everybody can't do that. So then instantly, everybody wants to fire their coach, and that's where the problem comes. I mean, did Brian Kelly really deserve to be fired?
No.
To pay $53 million? Did James Franklin really deserve to be fired to pay $49 million?
But what are you supposed to do as fans? Just say, well, all right, I guess we're not a playoff team.
Yeah, I
Not
just
this
let's
year.
keep our guy.
Let's try to do it
but
next
you
year.
haven't been for 4 years if
Yeah,
you're
right.
LSU now. But Franklin's a little bit different. You're
Yeah.
just going to the semifinals. But
Yeah.
if you're an LSU fan, you're like, here we are 4 years in, and we can't even get in a 12-team playoff.
Yep.
Much less, it used to be a 2 or a 4. We can't even do the 12.
Yeah, the firing is what leads to the buyouts. You don't have to pay these buyouts unless you fire your coach, and not everybody deserves to be fired. So after you tell me about the great folks at Twin Peaks, LT, then we'll get into the 5 jobs you think that are still gonna open up.
Our friends at Twin Peaks, home of that signature 29-degree draft. You see that Twin Peak girl running at you right there in 3D. They're all over the place. No one does happy hour like our friends at Twin Peaks. Whatever your preference. They've got everything from the tequila cocktails, extensive bourbon category, top shelf spirits and cocktails served over the ice balls, local craft beers, handcrafted whiskey cocktails. Round out that adventurous drink menu, second to none. Again, don't forget about the 29-degree drafts available for lunch or dinner. Stop in, watch the Ravens Dolphins tonight right there at Twin Peaks.
Yeah, that should be a lot of fun tonight, right there on the NFL Network. Excuse me, on Prime tonight. All right, so jobs you think will open up?
These are just Power 4, Lance. I'll start us with a lower tier one, but as you watch it, it just looks like it's almost already open. That's Colorado. And I hate this for Coach Prime, but the guy just, his health is bothering him, and it's just starting to look more laborious for him.
Yeah, it's weird because, they should have beaten an undefeated top 10 BYU earlier this season. I think his worst look was this past weekend in Salt Lake City.
That was brutal.
Yeah, believe it or not, I've got a really good friend that has become a Colorado fan because his daughter goes to school there. And he was texting me, we got to, I know Deion's done a lot, but we got to get rid of him. And this is the mentality now.
No. Yeah, I'm not saying he's getting fired. I'm saying he willingly steps away.
Yeah, no, I think there's a good chance because of the health. I don't think he wants to, but it seems like it's one issue stacked upon another issue based on, him being a diabetic. And
it's just tough, man.
Yeah.
And this is a demanding life that has affected the health of a lot of guys. So when your health's already compromised as his is, it's just, I think it's going to be tough on him, and I think he'll probably
He's
step
made
away.
it a better job, Dunaway.
Zero doubt. He's done
a
tremendous.
lot better, but that's still a bad job, and it's still bottom tier in the Big 12, and the buzz is going to be gone once he's gone.
If Coach Prime steps away, they will not get a better coach then.
No.
It'll be a downgrade.
Give me a job that's going to open up, LT.
Another job that is going to open up is going to be, I don't want to say Michigan State yet.
Ooh, I was gonna.
Well, if you want to run with Michigan
here you go.
State,
I'll give
can.
you two. I'll give you two more while Lance comes up. I'm going to stay in the Big 12 with Baylor. I think Dave Aranda's days are numbered there. They're 4-4, 2-3 in conference, and the problem with Dave Aranda is they're giving up a ton of points, and he's a defensive guy.
Is that a firing?
I think Dave Aranda probably gets fired. I hate that. Dave Aranda seems like a nice guy. He's been on the show before, so, we like people that come on the show. He's not the most excitable guy in the world, as Scott will tell you. 2-3 in conference, I just think it's going to get Dave Aranda. I think this was a big year for him, and there they are at 4-4, may not even get bowl eligible.
And who's your other one?
I'd throw Jonathan Smith in there. I think his time is running short at Michigan State. They're 0-5 in conference, 3-5 overall.
Fired?
Yeah, I think he'll get fired. I think Coach Prime steps away. I think Dave Aranda and Jonathan Smith get fired.
I could see Jonathan Smith saving them the buyout and taking the UCLA job. Go ahead.
Okay, well, the departure.
Yeah, I'll say Kentucky opens up.
Yep.
I mean, just the way this thing is trending, now things could change this weekend if they were to win that game in Jordan-Hare, but they're 0-5 in conference right now. And again, this is the worst start for Mark Stoops since 2013, his first season. And it's just a bad product. It's boring to watch. There's no excitement around the program.
Let me help you. Give me that Brett McMurphy tweet. Since the start of last year, worst record in the Power 4 versus Power 4 teams. Okay, so this is
P4 v. P4. Yep.
Yeah, P4 versus P4. Purdue is 0-16.
Yeah, not surprising. They're awful.
Oklahoma State is 1-15. Already fired their coach. Kentucky is 1-13.
And the one, by the way, was a win at Ole Miss, and it cost Ole Miss a playoff spot. So it was actually a pretty good win.
But you've got the longest tenured coach in the SEC. Like, you shouldn't be going in this direction, right? Like, I gave him a lot of credit because I thought degree of difficulty with this job, was, it was maybe the most difficult job in the SEC.
But it's run its course.
But you can't be going 1-13 in your last 14.
It's run its course, and unfortunately for them, back to the start of the show, their athletic director got fleeced by Jimmy Sexton, convincing them that Mark Stoops was getting the Texas A&M job. So they panicked, and they signed him to this massive contract that's got a massive buyout, and they're about to have to pay it.
Mississippi State, 1-13. Florida State, 2-13.
They're going to be opened up.
You think so, Florida State?
I think so.
You don't think that's the same as Hugh Freeze, is that they're going to step back and say, do we want to fish in the same pond as LSU, Penn State, and Florida?
I think they think their job's a little bit bigger than it is, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maryland 3-12.
Yeah, I was going to throw Michael Oxley in there. I think this was a key year for him.
I think Malik Washington will ultimately save him.
Yep. Could pull a major upset this weekend.
His next job is done.
Wisconsin is 3-13. By the way, last year in the NFL draft, Wisconsin had 2 NFL draft picks, both in the 7th round. They used to churn out NFL draft picks.
Maybe your MVP this year, Jonathan Taylor. I mean, it just seems so long ago that you had a running back like Jonathan Taylor playing for Wisconsin.
I just think done away with Wisconsin. Either one of two things. Either the buyout drops at a certain date, or they already know who their guy is, and they know they're not going to be competing Penn State, LSU, and Florida and all that. Like, they know who their guy is, and there's no competition for him.
Michigan State 4-12, Arizona 4-11, Arkansas 4-11 already open, Auburn 4-11.
Gosh, that's amazing. Look at this. Look at the list you're on.
Stanford is 4-11, UCF is 4-11, North Carolina is 4-10, and Wake Forest is 4-9. That's the 15 worst records in the Power 4 versus the Power 4 since the start of last year. By the way, that is 4 SEC teams on there, 4 ACC teams on there, 4 Big Ten teams on there, and 3 Big 12 teams.
Well, at least we spread it the wealth.
Yeah. Well, that's.
I mean, at some point, the mathematics tell you some of those.
That is sort of the way. That's why some teams are not going to win, and you're going to want to fire your coach. You give me UK. I'm going to give you one that I believe opens up, and that is Texas. And I believe Sark will go to the NFL.
So you think he's going to take the Titans job?
Maybe not the Titans. I think he goes to the NFL.
Could it be?
Maybe the Cowboys.
Not the Dolphins yet?
Could be the Cowboys.
Okay. Wow.
Not going well for Schott.
It's not going well for Schotty, but it's all defense for him. I mean, their offense is fine.
Yeah, but
actually, their offense is better than fine. It's maybe the best in the NFL at times. So.
Yeah, if I'm Dallas, I'm not excited about Sark at all.
I like Sark going to the NFL. I do think that when you had what happened last week happen, that that's him trying to tap it down until we get to the end of the year to where he can leave and go to the NFL.
Well, I tell you what, man, if Texas comes open
So he couldn't hack it is basically what's going on.
Remember, Sark was the person Al Davis wanted, And Sark said, I'm not ready for the job.
Well, Lane Kiffin was.
Why don't you take Lane Kiffin?
That's right. Yeah.
And
by the way,
Al
Lane
said,
was not
okay.
ready either. Yeah.
Okay, I'll do it. And he took Lane Kiffin. That's how Sark didn't get the Raiders job back then. I think he'll be a head coach in the NFL. And I'll give you one more.
Real quick
to the NFL
before you move on from Sark. This will trump. What year was it? 2022 when USC, Oklahoma, Florida, all those were open at the same time, and we said this is the biggest opening year we've ever seen. If you get Texas, Florida, LSU, and Penn State all open in the same year, this will maybe be the craziest opening season we've ever seen.
In that same year, everybody was talking about Lincoln Riley wants to avoid the SEC. I mean, if Sark goes to the NFL, it's not apples and oranges anymore. Like, you've got one of the 3 best jobs in college football, which is better than 25 of the 32 jobs in the NFL.
Marcus Freeman, Notre Dame.
To the NFL?
To the NFL.
No.
What job?
He's
do you
staying
think?
put.
What job do you think?
Because he could have LSU.
Whichever one's open up. I don't think he'd want to leave Notre Dame for LSU.
All right, can we?
But I'm gonna go with both of those. Those are my bold predictions.
Can we
Marcus to the NFL?
Can we just workshop this just real quick, if you don't mind? Let's just talk about some of the NFL jobs that are going to be open. Miami
could be Cleveland, could be Miami.
Cleveland, Miami probably are both going to be open. If I'm
microphones open in the back row there.
Yeah. If I am,
you could get Cincinnati maybe.
That's an interesting one.
Yep.
That's an interesting one because of the quarterback.
And the receivers.
Yeah.
I mean, you could get Baltimore with Lamar Jackson.
That's an interesting one.
And that's a really good organization. You could get Buffalo. I know that sounds crazy.
Well, that does sound crazy. How is Sean McDermott getting? Is he getting fired?
I mean, if they fall apart down the stretch.
Did you have John Harbaugh also getting fired? Was that why Buffalo's open? Baltimore's open?
Yeah.
God, I would take him in Miami in 2 seconds.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
If they wanted to trade coaches tonight, before the game, if they're in Miami, they're like, Roger Goodell gets a phone call, and they're like, these 2 teams like to trade coaches. Sign me right up, buddy.
Yeah.
I'd take John Harbaugh in a heartbeat. If Baltimore moves on from him, they're crazy.
Do we think Lane leaves? Is Ole Miss going to open up?
Yeah. I think Lane will leave. Either, I think now LSU, but Florida or LSU. I'll tell you another job that would be exciting. And now that Scatterbo is out for the season, the New York Giants, because when you get Scatterbo back, you get Malik Neighbors, the way Jackson Dart is playing, you've got one of the best defensive lines as far as getting after the quarterback in the NFL. And that's, you go from all of these losses that Dable had to maybe a team that could win the NFC East next year.
See, I'm kind of like, do you guys think Sark's an innovative offensive mind still? He hasn't forgotten how to coach offense, right? He's just got himself in a subpar quarterback situation?
Probably.
I truly believe now it's a subpar offensive line situation.
Well, I don't think that helps. You're right. I mean, like, if you're New York, I think that would excite you, right? With Jackson Dart and all those. If he's still an innovative offensive guy.
Dart's familiar with the way Sark and Kiffin run their offenses, so that would make him feel really comfortable. Malik Neighbors is there, right? Still.
Oh yeah.
He's out for the season. I mean, that's the thing, is they're still playing with so much energy. That's going to be a really appealing job if you can handle that market. There are some coaches that can't handle the market. I heard Adam Schefter talking about, maybe one of the reasons that Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones didn't make it is because of how difficult that market is. Darnold's playing extremely well in Seattle. Daniel Jones is playing great in Indianapolis. But it takes, to be a quarterback or a successful head coach in that market, it takes pretty good mindset.
But they've shown some patience with Dable.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, Billy Napier, fired at Florida, had 7 guys in the NFL draft last year, all of them in rounds 4 through 7.
Yeesh.
That's not Florida.
Nope.
Hugh Freeze, 3 guys in the NFL draft last year, a 4th rounder, a 5th rounder, and a 6th rounder. Part of the job is recruiting guys who move on to the NFL, an NFL pipeline. If you've got that working, I think that helps you as a football program too.
One of the things we mentioned a couple times in the offseason based on that, though, is that Keldrick Falk could break that Auburn first-round draft pick drought. And he hasn't had the year. Now, this is sometimes doesn't impact your NFL status because they look at it differently. Hasn't had the year I think everyone would like for him to have. So it'll be interesting to see if he still goes in the first round.
Our Bojangles tender moment of the day is, did you want to show that Orange Beach stuff? Did you send it to me? Yes or no?
I pulled it.
Okay, roll it. It's brought to you by, we're going to do the Bojangles read after. after you show me the Orange Beach. This is our tender moment of the day. This is Orange Beach. What classification are they in, Forrester?
This is a 4A high school.
4A.
4A.
Down in Orange Beach, Alabama, 4A. This is their indoor football facility.
Are you kidding me?
They've got the unbelievable training facility, weight room. This is not a resort, folks. This is the Makos of Orange Beach. Cool logo. Shark Shack is the name of their concession stands. I like that too.
Unbelievable.
The orange and blue. They've got spas. They got the big scoreboard. We showed you when they opened the stadium to start the year.
Our girl Jen Parnell went to school there.
Oh, yeah?
And she's got a Mako helmet in her office.
Yeah. So cool facilities that they've got there at Orange Beach. And it's paying off. What's their They're in 4A, not 5, 6, or 7A. What's their record, Forster?
They are currently 4-6.
4-6. Oh, wow.
And lost to Phillip Rivers' school by 6 touchdowns last week.
Well, they got a good quarterback there.
They do.
Yeah. You know what's gonna happen, Forrester? They put all this out on their social media, all the stuff we've got, all the new everything we got here. You know what's about to start happening? We're about to start moving players in from other places.
Oh, I believe it.
Orange Beach is a desirable place to live, Jimmy.
There is a condo community down there that is about to get some really good 4 and 5 stars moving in, and you're about to see them go up the 4A.
I had forgotten about this, but I sent Forrester something a couple of days ago. The most unique stadium I've ever seen. I don't know if you can pull that in a little bit, Forrester, but
do it after the break.
Yeah, this is a place that I would not want to go see a game.
Oh, in that stadium? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, is it the AI one in Saudi Arabia?
Is that AI?
Yeah.
Okay.
The one that's built on top of a
300 feet in the
skyscraper.
air.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an AI rendering.
Well, I sent it to Forrester. He didn't say anything about it.
Here we go. Here it is.
There it is. Look at that.
You thought that was a real stadium.
Yeah.
It looks like a
They
stadium
got
from
helipads
Street
up top.
Fighter.
Yeah.
I mean, how big would that have to be, Lance?
Oh, big.
I mean,
It's like they put it in the Space Needle in Seattle.
Yeah, big.
I got a friend that's getting destroyed by. He sends me these reels on Instagram, and they are so obviously AI, and he believes all of them. I had to tell him the other day.
I've got literally. I get
that?
duped all the time.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty easy to get people up to that, right?
I mean, it's a long elevator ride. I don't know if you guys have gone to the top of the Willis Tower.
Oh, I know.
It takes over a minute.
I mean, what do you think that seat? 60,000?
No, I think you would have a fire hazard.
I'm
there.
with Lance. I would not go to a game there.
Me either.
I agree.
I mean, the construction. I mean, you thought the upper deck at Legion Field used to be shaky.
Yeah.
I mean, SoFi costs $3.5 billion. What would that cost?
Well, you got people
way more.
You got people living in it though, so
Yeah.
it's a revenue
Yeah,
generating.
right.
Yeah.
It's a pretty amazing structure.
Sounds like it'd go the way of the Line City they planned out there.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That's our.
Hey, I'm owning it though. Dunaway got called out by who was it?
That's our tender
and he
moment.
said he was joking.
That's our tender moment of the day.
It is our tender moment of the day. Bojangles.
Brought to you by Bojangles.
Bojangles tender moment of the day. Make it bow time at Bojangles when you're headed to the college football or high school stadium. Go see those Makos. Take you some Bojangles chicken fingers. You can enjoy your tailgate or your college football watch parties at home with our friends from Bojangles. Their hand-breaded chicken tenders, the great dipping sauces that go with it, the amazing sides. At Bojangles, you can always make it bow time for your football weekends with Bojangles.
Gutter Cap, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. Our man Chris Stewart out there fielding your calls. Look, the worst thing you want to do is, after a long week of work, get on the roof, you slip, you fall, you snap the neck and die. No good to the wife or kids. Cap it, don't snap it. Chris Stewart will come out, give you an absolutely free estimate. You will never clean those gutters again. 205-823-2212. Make sure you tell him the guys from the next round sent you. For more information, you can always go online. Go to guttercapbirmingham.com.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
Yo, Kinfolk, what's good, man? Let me holler at you for a minute. You know how life can be life. You're out there chasing that dollar. Every dollar is accounted for going somewhere. Then all of a sudden, bam! Out of nowhere, a car accident. All I had to do was hit up my people at Alexander Shannara Trial Attorney. You already know when that dude Alex pulls up the trial, he shuts down the litigation situation. Yo, go to Shannara.com. Hit him up at 659-777-7777.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation that legal services provided are better than any other provider.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the next round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
When you crave activity like we do, you belong in the Roback family. Get the best golf wear, hoodies, and activewear for men and women at Roback.com. Use promo code TNR20 to get 20% off your order. That's Roback.com, promo code TNR20.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place, nextround.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt, you can look your best by shopping with us at nextround.store. Take the Next Round anywhere with nextround.store.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Tyler's Four Downs coming up here in just a second. Before LT tells us about Sleep Home Alabama, two NFL things. One of them, the game tonight, Baltimore and Miami, 2-5, but still the favorites to win the division is Baltimore with Lamar Jackson back.
Boy, and a big expectation for Lamar back. I mean, they're 7.5-point favorites on the road against a Miami Dolphin team that is coming off not only their second win of the season, but also their best 60 minutes of football.
Zero doubt. Best offensive performance Tua and Miami have had in a very, very long time. Kind of looked like early vintage Mike McDaniel in that game against the Falcons. But Miami putting those games back to back, putting games like that together have been few and far between. So I can see why this number is where it is. That's a big number on the road in the NFL, though.
Look, I mean, they have got to win this game, Baltimore, to be a game and a half back of Pittsburgh. I do think Pittsburgh is going in the wrong direction. I don't think they're a playoff team. Cincinnati, a terrible loss this past week to the Jets. So this is a moment now that he's back, Lamar Jackson. Hopefully, if you're a Ravens fan, he's 100% healthy. And you just find a way to somehow get to 10-7. Maybe even 9-8 will get you in here.
By the way, Jim Irsay passed away, Colts owner. They're having a great season. His daughters have taken over ownership of the team. And I saw on the NFL Network the other night, I forget which daughter it is, but the one that's really running the team, she stands on the sidelines with headsets on, and she gave an unbelievable interview about how if we're making decisions, you learn a lot in the headset that maybe it's not the player's fault. Maybe it was the quarterback's fault. Maybe it was a bad call by our coaches. You know, what's the conversations like going on with our coaching staffs? And I want to be the most informed. I was blown away about how good she was explaining why she's there on the sidelines with a headset on and the hands-on approach. And look, the proof's in the pudding. They're winning games.
And she takes notes. So the first game after he passed, they were hosting the Dolphins week 1. So obviously I watched that, and I thought it was just because they were honoring him that she was standing on the sidelines. They were honoring Jim Irsay that day, which they were. But she's done it every game. Stands on the sidelines, takes notes to Dunaway's point, listens to the coaches talk. It's pretty wild. I mean, I've never seen an owner do this.
Well, you know, and it's weird because last year people were like, Shane Steichen, he's not going to be the guy. And now they're sitting best record in football, 7-1. Only loss to the LA Rams. Game they probably shouldn't have lost. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know how different ownership is. It's still in the family, but the results have been a lot different.
We criticized Jerry Jones for wanting headsets so up in his owner's box, but it was pretty cool the way she was explaining.
There she is. Scott to pull it.
I mean, it's pretty cool watching, and she's done it every game that I've seen them play.
Cool till she gets run over.
Yeah, I know.
It's her team, so she's down there. By the way, her and her family have decided to sell the Jim Irsay collection. Are you guys familiar with
guitars,
what a collector? Oh, not just guitars, Brownie, but he had over 200 guitars from any person.
I thought you were going to say a bourbon collection.
Yeah, Jimi Hendrix, Pete Townsend, Prince, Lou Reed, Eddie Van Halen, Johnny Cash, Les Paul. He has all sorts of Beatles collection, Bob Dylan collection, Clapton. I don't know who David Gilmour is, Pink Floyd. Okay, I see that. Kurt Cobain stuff, including the guitars. From Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Yeah, there's a picture Scott has pulled. Yeah. This is like, I've got money. I've got to find a hobby. Yep. I'm going to start buying really expensive guitars.
So what's the value on the collection?
Oh, it doesn't stop. Okay. It gets crazy.
Millions and millions.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a pocket knife that was given to Abraham Lincoln for attending the 1864 Great Central Fair in Philadelphia. He's got a 1923 copy of the Declaration of Independence. He's got the first declaration ever signed by the Continental Congress in 1777 for Thanksgiving, making Thanksgiving
a holiday.
How do you authenticate these kind of things?
He's got a John Hancock signed lottery ticket from 1765 for the rebuilding of Faneuil Hall in Boston.
Faneuil Hall, yeah.
Faneuil Hall in Boston, and. He's got a rocking chair from John F. Kennedy's house, and it just goes on and on and on.
They swiped that from a Cracker Barrel.
What's the
He's got Muhammad Ali gloves and shoes that he used in the fight. The gloves and shoes that Ali was wearing in the fight when he knocked Joe Frazier out. Down goes Frazier. Was that a Muhammad Ali fight?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's got the Sonny Liston gloves and shoes. He's got Jackie Robinson's bat from 1953. He's got the saddle that was worn, that the jockey in all of Secretariat's race in 1973. He's got that saddle.
All people just reach out to him. Hey, look, man, I got this random ass
Jim.
Yeah,
I would pick and choose if I was part of,
what is that?
That estate.
That looks like a John Lennon mold.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. That's John Lennon's glasses.
Could be Martina Navratilova, too.
That's true, one of the two.
Forrester, is that his glasses he had on when he was assassinated?
Oh, I don't know about when he was shot, but they're John Lennon sunglasses.
Yeah.
He's got, you like entertainment, he's got a Wilson volleyball from Castaway.
Oh, wow.
Oh, the actual one they used in the movie.
One of the saddest moments in cinema history.
He's got one of the golden tickets used in the original 1971 Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Well, I wanted one as a kid.
I did too.
He's got Al Pacino's script from Scarface in 1983.
Boy, he's
written by
somebody with the Rams?
Oliver Stone.
And the CIA.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. The CIA also wrote Scarface?
Yeah. They wanted to add extra lines of dialogue specifically calling out Cuban communism. And so, like, in the holding area when Tony's first...
Freedom Town.
Yeah, Freedom Town. Before he gets there, he's talking to immigration officers. And he goes, you want the Russian communist shoes? You want to eat octopus 3 times a day? I got octopus coming out my ears.
Very, very political early on. But Brian De Palma directed. And I know you think it's an over-the-top performance. It probably is, but there were some over-the-top Cuban gangsters back in the 80s.
CPAP Plus brings us that little sleeper pick of a great collection from Jim Irsay that you can buy through our folks at Christie's. Probably not all in one big lump. Probably want to break that up a little bit.
You better come off the hip if you want it in one lump.
Plus, our friends, the O'Neill brothers, Joe and Woody O'Neill. They've got 5 locations throughout the state. Birmingham, Trussville, Pelham, Foley, Troy. It's Alabama's best home sleep testing and CPAP. If you're tired all day, you're not getting the proper rest, your wife is telling you need to get a sleep study. I think you've got sleep apnea. You don't want to get the study done because you don't want to deal with sleeping away from your bed. You don't want to deal with the insurance. Guess what? No lab, no insurance. They send it right to your door. Just easy to wear fingertip devices, clinically validated, that connect to your smartphone, complete with the physician's interpretation of your results. I have talked to an individual that has gotten this done. He said it was so easy, so simple. Again, they'll send it right to your house. $199 home sleep test. It is Alabama's best home sleep testing and CPAP. SleepHomeAlabama.com.
And 4 Downs today brought to you by our friends at Way to Wellness, your way to simplify your weight loss with our friend Leslie and her board-certified team, Way to Wellness. Visit their website at planforme.com. Way to Wellness has that personalized plan that works and is designed specifically for you. No cookie-cutter plan. Everyone needs something different, whether, maybe it's a plan for diabetes. We were talking about that earlier. Heart disease, sleep apnea. Leslie has a special diet for you there, but also interesting ways to jumpstart your weight loss. Meal replacements, injection therapy, protein bars. I use those to keep from bad snacking. See everything right there at planforme.com. No contracts, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free. Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living.
First down.
If you were a king, what would be your first royal decree?
I would get the left lane only. Well, I wouldn't be driving if I were a king. So
I would legalize weed and sports betting in every state, especially in Alabama.
Okay.
We have dispensaries and sports books everywhere.
Yeah.
I would make Scott Woodward.
You could do that. Yeah, I like that.
I'd go Scott Woodward is not hiring the next LSU coach.
You only have to be a governor to do that.
Yeah.
You don't have to be the king. I would say left lane for me only. But again, if I'm a king, I'm not driving, man. Somebody else is driving for me.
You're going to get carried around, right?
Yeah, I'm going to get carried around. I guess I'll do it in the left lane, though. I get that lane all to myself if I'm the king.
All right.
Second down.
American History X, starring Edward Norton and Edward Furlong, released 27 years ago. What movie did you enjoy or think was good, but you have no plans to rewatch?
So American History X, speaking of remembering where I watched Back to the Future, same theater, right over there on Lorna Road. What movie?
For me, it's Requiem for a Dream. I got no plans to
I saw it
rewatch
twice
that.
just because it was so disturbing. I had to go back and watch. I'll tell you what I watched the other night that I don't think I would watch again. I bought it, was The Long Walk. I thought it was great, but I mean, it's a lot of dialogue filled, the way it's going to play out now. I just don't know if I would watch that again.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't watch that again either.
But it was very, very good.
I think I would go The Social Network. I doubted that could be a good film. Watched it and enjoyed it, but I think one watch is good enough.
I've seen it 10 times.
10 times?
Yeah, I've seen it probably 8 to 10 times.
I've seen every movie David Fincher has ever done, and I think he's the best director going, and that's one of his best.
I can't remember the last movie I watched.
Really?
Yeah.
In a theater or just period?
Are you just on just romantic television series right now?
No, I just watch television and sports or listen to music. I can't remember the last one I even watched. Top Gun, was that the last one I watched? That may have been the last movie I watched.
No, you watch a ton of TV series.
I do, yeah.
And you just don't watch movies.
I just don't watch movies.
All right, what's a TV series you wouldn't want to revisit, but you thought was pretty good?
I love going back and watching all. If I liked it, I like going back to rewatch it later on. It's a comfort thing. No answer. Move on.
All right.
Wow.
Third down.
Other than TNR or anything in the TNR family, what's one podcast you listen to and would recommend?
It depends on the guest on Rogan. I listen to a lot of Rogan, but it's guest dependent. He has on a lot of his comedian friends. I don't enjoy those as much as I do when he has on a former Navy SEAL, the sheriff of Baghdad. He had on the guy that, oh God, what was that guy's name? He ends up talking a lot about the Egyptian pyramids, which I really...
Oh, Graham Hancock.
Yeah, Graham Hancock. Yeah, did you hear that one?
Yeah, he's done a couple of them. And
yeah.
I always have to go back and rewind during the conversation because he loses me.
Yeah, me too. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I did not lock in sufficiently on that answer. Let me start it over. But if I'm ever driving, like when we have a road show in Auburn or Tuscaloosa, or if we're going down to Floribama, a Rogan podcast, I mean, most of them are 3+ hours.
It'll get you there.
It'll get you there in a hurry.
Yeah, I don't listen to any. I'm like done away with his movies. I don't listen to any podcast.
I enjoyed the New Heights one. It's really good. But Call Her Daddy, the struggles of so many entertainers.
Right.
I mean, you guys are big entertaining people. The actors and actresses she has on are top level. And to hear the stories of their struggles and stuff.
I thought it's a bunch of teenage girls listening to that, right?
No, it's one of the most listened to podcasts in America, and unbelievable guests that they have on.
Barstool used to own it, right? And they left. Is that right, Jim?
It's one girl, Alex Cooper.
She left, or she still owns it?
Yeah, she got a 9-figure deal.
Yeah.
She's got her own channel now on Sirius XM and Spotify.
She
makes
loves to cuss, doesn't she?
Tons of money. I don't notice it any more than anywhere else in the world.
If I said some of the things she said, you would go to break.
Unnecessary Roughness. I enjoy that from Barstool. I enjoy that stuff.
All right. One I'd recommend to the audience and to you guys if you want to check it out is one called Financial Audit. This what happens is these people sign up to go on. Hang on.
Oh, I've seen this. Those people can't be real, Tyler. I don't think they're real.
I believe they're real.
I don't think they are.
I believe they're
I've watched the not out. Go and tell everybody what it is.
Tell us what it's about, please.
Yeah. So the idea of this show is if you're struggling financially, you call this guy and you go on his show and you take all your credit card statements, the statements from your checking account, everything, car note, every piece of financial information you have about your life, and you hand it to him, and he goes through it and like Gordon Ramsay kitchen nightmare style roasts you and rips apart your decisions.
It's the guy with the beard and the glasses. He always wears a black T-shirt. I've seen like some of the cut-ups on TikTok, and I just do not believe that. I don't believe the people are real. I don't believe the people are real.
He just has a website, and you go to apply, and according to stats he's put out, so take it however you want. The average guest pays off over $10,000 of debt in the next year after being on that show.
So does he pay Dave Ramsey any royalty for stealing his idea?
It's a lot like it, except the people are in person.
Yeah, it's kind of like Dave Ramsey.
Yeah, no, you're right, Dunaway. It is not exactly an original idea. He just does it a bit differently.
But yeah, very entertaining. He was ripping apart one guy. I was watching it the other day. This person worked in a food court in a mall, but they would order DoorDash to their job at the food court in the mall.
That's why I don't believe
Sounds like one of my brothers.
People, I've made those same deliveries before, so I believe it's real.
Could this be a bracket challenge loser?
We've
got to go on that show.
Ooh, that might work, but I think there's like a threshold. Like I think he wants your finances to be garbage before he takes you on. So
that's the other part of the bracket challenge. You got to wreck your finances, then go on.
Yes, just max out every card you have and then apply.
4th down.
What is your go-to soup since it's getting colder? And for this question, I'm going to exclude all chilies.
My wife makes, some people call it tortilla soup, some people call it Mexican soup. Taco soup is what my wife calls it. I know it is winter on the doorstep when she makes the first vat of taco soup, and it is fantastic. I love it every time.
I used to love that chicken tortilla soup at Superior Grill.
Oh,
We were talking about it yesterday. I like tomato soup. Tomato soup with a good grilled cheese. Fantastic.
We had Fiesta soup last weekend, and Maggie's at the lake right now. I'm driving up there right after the show, and she has made up there white chili. Does that count? White whatever?
White chicken chili?
Yeah, white chicken chili.
It
she
counts.
left me the turkey meat chili that I had last night for dinner. And then she makes a really, really good I don't even know what it's called. I guess it's vegetable. It's almost like a stew, but it's got vegetables chopped in. Oh, love that. I love soup season. That's the only thing I like about cold weather is soup.
Is that
season.
minestrone?
Maybe. It does have a.
My dad does a similar thing for vegetable soup.
It's got rice in it. It doesn't have noodles. So it's got rice in it, but it's really, really good.
I do like chicken noodle soup.
Yeah, chicken noodle soup's good.
Chicken noodle's good.
Especially the homemade kind. Delicious. I love soups. And that
Brunswick stew, also good this time of year.
Yeah.
You don't like Brunswick?
No, I'm not big on Brunswick stew.
Alrighty then.
And that is 4 Downs today, brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. Tell us about Michelson.
205-969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, the first to perform laser procedure in the state of Alabama way back in 1995. I got the procedure done in 2003. I still have 20/15 vision, better than 20/20. 205-969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com.
There's 25 minutes of no college football for you there. Basketball tonight, by the way. Auburn and Memphis in Atlanta. You can watch it on War Eagle Plus, 7:30. Last tune-up for Stephen Pearl's Auburn Tigers. Season starts next Monday for everybody. CBSSports.com ranking their top 25 plus 1 coaches. Hurley 1, Sampson 2, Patino 3, Self 4, Painter 5, Nate Oates 6, Todd Golden 7th from the folks at CBS Sports.
Wow, what an ascension for Todd Golden all the way to
No
7.
doubt.
I got no problem with those top 7.
In that order?
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty close. I mean, you could interchange those guys, but
It's Oates and Sampson. Dunaway, the only two in there that don't have a national championship, right?
yeah, I
Does
think you're
Painter
right.
have one?
Nope, Painter doesn't.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yep, I missed him. So, yeah, that's interesting that the way they did that, you didn't necessarily have to have a national championship.
Yeah,
That
Oates
just-
is the only one that hasn't played for a national
Yeah, that's
championship.
true. Painter's at least done that.
Bucky McMillan was just a high school coach here in town 5 years ago. Debuts next week for Texas A&M. Big, quick rise for him. I saw Mark Sears play, the former Alabama star. Saw him play for the Bucks against Cleveland, I think, but didn't see him play the last game for the Bucks. I don't know if he's on and off the roster, if he's what's it called, two-way contract. I don't. Is Sears on?
Well, yeah, and you get the 10-day contracts too.
I mean, he got some playing time against the Cavs the other night.
Yeah, so Sears has played in one game.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Janai Broome assigned to the G League last night from the 76ers down to the Blue Coats. And that's where he's headed. You're getting credit for saying that he would not make it in the NBA, that he'd be a G League guy, from Kevin on social media today.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, he can start there and then he can ascend and make his way to the NBA. I never saw it. I didn't think he had the vertical. I just didn't think he had the physical skill.
Yeah.
Like, great college player. And look, he's got an opportunity because if you excel in the G League, you're going to find a spot on a roster somewhere. It's funny, the Bucks list Mark Sears at 6 feet.
Oh, do they? Yeah, it was always the discussion.
That's what's happening in basketball as that season rolls around. It's also soup season as well. What was the question last night at Odie's as you guys did trivia again at that great location?
Did I even throw out my question last night?
Yeah, you did. It was, I think you did.
Oh, wait. I did. Yeah. Oh, it was Halloween related. What is the most popular candy handed out in the United States for Halloween? It's a specific brand. 13% of all of this Halloween candy that is sold is this one specific brand.
I'm going to go with M&M's since you've got all the different variations of it.
I went Skittles because that little bag of Skittles is easy to throw in a bag.
Anybody else? Forrester? Dunaway? Anybody?
What was the question again?
Snickers.
I'll go Butterfinger.
The most popular U.S. candy handed out during Halloween. 13% of all candies handed out during Halloween are this one brand.
Tell me it's not candy corn.
One brand like Mars or like
No, like a specific.
Kit Kat.
Well, that's a good
No,
one,
y'all
too.
went all over the place. Nobody went Reese's Cups. It's Reese's Cups. Yeah.
The obvious one.
One of the things that you learn when you go to Odie's Team Trivia, we do it every Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, the original location, right there in Crestline, newest location in Edgewood. Great food at both from Rodney Davis, Birmingham Institution, ice cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light, the Odie's Famous Cup cocktails, live music tonight and tomorrow night. Birmingham Institution, get in and see Will Haver and that great staff. It's Odie Stafford.
I went Kit Kat because of Walmart and Target. You buy those big bags, and they've got Kit Kats, the mixed bags, and they have Kit Kats in them. And you never see the regular size Reese cups.
Yeah, I think the variations of the little foil gold wrappers and then the single cups, there's probably just so many of them. I mean, it's hard to beat a good Reese's.
Oh, I like my wife loves them, and she has me convinced, and I agree, the seasonal ones are the best ones because they have more peanut butter. The peanut butter chocolate is better divide. I like the Christmas tree, the pumpkin,
the Easter egg.
Easter egg, yeah. It's really, really good.
Have you guys tried the white chocolate?
I have
cups
not.
that
I've
came
seen
out?
them. Are they good?
I haven't tried them.
I've tried it.
What do
It's
you think?
okay.
It's okay.
Not a huge fan of white chocolate, or dark chocolate.
I like the dark chocolate. Yeah.
That gets us to the top of the hour. Champy's world famous fried chicken, champyschicken.com. We'll talk to Dan Orlovsky and get back to some football when we come back. You can always get back to the great taste down at Sterling. Speaking of the cooler temperatures, 56 the high today, and he's got that hot cooked-to-order chicken, brined overnight, ready for you to put something warm in your stomach. Champy's world-famous fried chicken right there, good for parties as well, whether it's a Halloween party or a dinner party or an office meeting. He can cater that for you. champyschicken.com. Highway 119 in Alabaster. Hand-cut chicken fingers, Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, and so much more. Go by and see Sterling and the crew at champyschicken.com.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
Honey, a while back, life knocked me flat on my behind. I was hit by an 18-wheeler, and Lord of mercy, it left me hurting. Now, I heard through the grapevine that Alexander Shannara had recovered big money for some people. You been hurt? Can't work? Don't sit there suffering. Call my people at Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. Ain't gonna cost you a dime, so pick up the phone and dial 659-777-7777 or go to Shannara.com, because when I called, Alexander Shannara answered.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
What are you waiting for? It's non-stop gaming action at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Come play more than 900 of the latest and greatest games around, featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can wager and win on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. There are more ways to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Birmingham Racecourse Casino, located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Never miss anything from the next round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you catch every part of The Next Round. Listen anywhere in the world at any time on the Next Round podcast feed and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Thanks for always making The Next Round a big part of your day.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, rolling on, final hour of the show. As we said, brought to you by our friends at Champy's. Champy's world-famous fried chicken with Sterling down there and the guys. Tailgating again this weekend at Jordan-Hare. You may be off at Bryant-Denny, but you can go by and pick up the big package of great Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, the hand-cut chicken fingers, and all of that right there at Champy's Chicken. Go by and see Sterling. Great opportunity for a happy hour as well. It's a nice neighborhood bar. Great mood on the inside, but it's also that family-friendly restaurant. It's all put together. Sterling in the same location in over a decade. Go by and see him right there at Highway 119 in Alabaster. It's Champy's Chicken, champyschicken.com. Dan Orlovsky joins us in a moment. We'll talk to him. Our buddy John Mechie used to be on the show, traded yesterday from the Eagles to the Jets. 4 catches, 18 yards in 7 games. Mechie, he's a restricted free agent at the end of this year. It's an opportunity for him to go with the Jets and get some playing time to see if the Jets or somebody else wants to sign him next year.
Did he show up on time for his trade?
I hope. I hate it that it didn't work out for him in Philadelphia. I thought that might be a good spot for him. It's just, unfortunately, his career was...
I thought early with the Texans. I mean, the last place you want to go is the Jets right now.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you.
Well, it gets him on the field because they're so bad, so he's a chance for, there's just no place to get on the field in Philadelphia.
No, unless A.J. Brown gets traded, like you said he might. But, but once, you can get on the field, but then can the quarterback get it to you? It's tough once you get in that trade circuit there, and that's where he is.
NFL tonight, we'll talk to Orlovsky about that coming up in just a second. Games going on this weekend. Arch Manning practiced yesterday, but he's still in protocol as Vandy and Texas play each other this weekend. Before I get to cut number 6, Tyler, give me cut 6. Matthew Caldwell standing by, but questionable for Arch Manning. How big is this for Texas to have Arch? Or do you really want to see Caldwell in this game?
Well, you heard Brooks Austin on yesterday saying that people are insane if they want Caldwell instead. I don't think Sarkisian wants this for a couple of reasons. Obviously he believes Arch is probably the better quarterback, but can you imagine if Caldwell did come in and played extremely well for 4 quarters and this offense was doing things that it hasn't done this year and they beat Vanderbilt? Then you've got... I know it sounds crazy, but
we're going to go quarterback controversy?
You probably would have, but at that point, you haven't seen consistency from Arch. Yeah, the fourth quarter was great this past weekend against a Mississippi State team that can't win a game in the conference. I think you would have a quarterback controversy. I really do.
Keep in mind, Alabama is better than Texas, and Vandy were 2 red zone turnovers away from making that game a lot more interesting in Tuscaloosa. So here goes Vandy as a top 10 team playing at Texas and really having to try to motivate his guys as something as other than underdogs, even though betting, I guess they are, but they actually are the team that's higher ranked. It's a different world for Clark Lee and Vandy.
The last 2 weeks, you guys have gotten to the point where you've been favored in these games. Now we're back to you guys are going down there. You're ranked higher, but you're an underdog. Do you use any of that stuff as you go along in the week, just kind of given the journey that you've been on?
It's going to probably not surprise you when I tell you that I don't. And this is actually the first I'm learning of that, so I appreciate you letting me know. Well, I will, yeah. Maybe I'll have you come in and do the team talk. we're focused on us. We're focused on playing our best. We feel like there's still a better performance for us out there. Just like you see with these top 25 rankings, they come, they go, you rise, you fall. I mean, there's really nothing of substance to it. I think what we're aimed at is how we finish the right way this season, how we keep within reach the goals we have, and the meaningful stuff will happen as we approach the end, but it only happens if we're focused totally on ourselves and the performance we want to put on display in Austin. So that's kind of where we are.
You can't overstate what a job he's done, and maybe you link him to Diego Pavia, who's 14-7 in his 2 years there. But they've got a top 15 offense. You've got a top 25 defense right now as far as scoring offense, scoring defense. Here's what's crazy. They are about to, in the month of October, play their 4th ranked versus ranked opponent. They only did that 9 times in the history of the program.
Yeah.
And they're doing it 4 times this month.
I mean, that is insane to think about. Every time I watch him, though, he just strikes me as a coach that is thriving because he's winning at a place where there are just zero expectations and pressure. Like, it doesn't look like – sometimes you just watch coaches and you feel the pressure they're under by the way they're answering questions in these press conferences. That guy right there, it just feels like there's no pressure. There are no expectations. He has so far exceeded expectations of your – whatever the Vanderbilt fan base is.
But that program is airtight right now. Like, he is so detailed. He's so focused. He's like a less miserable Nick Saban.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would kind of agree with you. And I just wonder what his future is. Like, does he believe he can stay and maintain this at Vanderbilt?
You brought it up about the generational quarterback. I mean, but if you're a quarterback and you make a couple of $1 million to go play in Nashville, why would you not do it?
Yeah, I mean, Nashville's a good place to live. You've seen what it could do for Pavia.
I would do everything I can to keep him if I'm Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
I just don't know what Clark Lee wants to do.
Yeah, I go back to Saban saying it on game day unprovoked. Nick Saban just brought it up out of the blue, like, Vanderbilt better commit to this guy, you're going to lose him. And that is very un-Nick Saban-like to say that.
Game day headquarters, your friends at the Pants Store. Bama and Auburn fans, holidays coming up. If you got somebody in your family that cheers for the Tigers, the Pants Store is your location, pantsstore.com. Hats and quarter zips, famous name brands like Horn Legend, Cutter and Buck, Antigua and Gentile. Nothing says War Eagle or Roll Tide like the Pants Store. And ladies, don't forget they've got the fall boots, which I guess quickly can turn into winter boots and all the other stuff, whether it's the great spring sneakers and the platforms and the dresses and the rompers. When we flip the calendar back around and the sun shines deeper into the night in the south, you can get all that with free alterations and free gift wrapping. Great locations in Auburn and Tuscaloosa and Huntsville, all over Birmingham. Online and shipped anywhere at pantsstore.com. Pantsstore.com. Orlovsky, in just a second before he joins us, tell us about New York Butcher, LT.
The New York Butcher Shop, great place to pick up a couple of steaks if you want to watch Baltimore and Miami tonight. Tomorrow night, Game 6 of the World Series. Anytime is a great time for the New York Butcher Shop. Maybe you're driving around right now trying to figure out what is for lunch. How about those huge deli sandwiches? They've got the substation. You can order their specialties. You can do it yourself. Fantastic food, great sides, fantastic selection of fine wines and desserts as well. 2 locations, the original Cahaba Heights, Highway 119 in Greystone. Rare quality, well-done service. It is the New York Butcher Shop.
It'll be interesting to see when the trade deadline gets here for the NFL. Other than the possible moving parts around to help, which team, and maybe the Ravens who play tonight's the answer here, which team has gotten off to a start you didn't expect that you expect turns it around down the stretch? A slow starting team that you think turns it around down the stretch?
Well, Kansas City already has, but they would have fit this discussion several weeks ago.
Yeah. Minnesota possibly, because J.J. McCarthy coming back. I thought Carson Wentz was really bad. You've still got incredible weapons when you look at Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. You've still got a defense that gets after the quarterback. They're 3-4, so they're not entirely out of this. Outside of Minnesota, the Texans are turning it around right now.
I was about to say them. They're 3-4. But they've played better of late.
Yeah, I've backed them the last couple of weeks. I had, my biggest play this past Sunday was on the Texans against the 49ers. But, I mean, you look at, they've won 3 of 4. Their one loss was a one-possession loss on the road against Seattle. So they've gone to Baltimore. They dusted Baltimore, and then very impressive win this past weekend by double digits over the Niners. So I think the Texans, if C.J. Stroud can play with a little more consistency, not turn it over, I think they're one of those teams to look at. But outside of the obvious Baltimore, those are the two I would go with. I would go with the Texans, and I would go with the Vikings.
Yeah. Interesting that so many slow start teams. I was expecting a little bit more out of the Raiders this year than we're ended up getting, and that's a disaster right now.
Did you see, so like Ashton Daniels, say what you want, he's going to be a 1,000-yard rusher this year, and I know 1,000 yards in a 17-game season isn't what it once was, but 101% of his yards are after contact.
Wait a minute. Say that again?
Yeah, 101% of his yards are after contact.
How do you get over 100%?
How is that a stat? That's why I asked you to repeat it. I thought I misheard it.
It is like, and if you've watched Raiders games, like there's never a hole. He is hit behind the line of scrimmage. It seems like literally every single carry. He's still averaging 4 yards a carry. He's got 5 total touchdowns. But he's completely buried with a bad quarterback, a terrible offensive line. I thought that Pete Carroll coming back to the game would rejuvenate this roster, and it just hasn't worked.
It hasn't. And I tell you, it was the Monday night game they played was the first time I watched Pete Carroll and thought, boy, this guy looks really, really old all of a sudden. But that has been a bad football team. 2-5. Las Vegas Raiders, just a bad team.
I did want to, if we can start with our next guest with a question about the Raiders.
Would you like? Let me set him up.
Yeah,
and then Lance
do.
is going to fire away question 1 about the Las Vegas Raiders. He is Dan Orlovsky, ESPN. Joins us each week on the Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys Hotline. Welcome in, Dan. How are you today, my friend?
What's going on? I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Awesome.
So one guy I haven't heard you talk about or program that nobody really talks about, the Raiders right now. But Ashton Daniels, I thought he was a can't miss. When you watch him play, he has nothing around him. He has a terrible offensive line. He's still averaging 4 yards a carry. I mean, where are you on Ashton Daniels? And much like young quarterbacks, when they go into a situation where they get beaten to death, a lot of these guys lose their confidence. Do you worry about that with Daniels at all with the Raiders?
You definitely do. I think it's a little bit less in like a running back's world than a quarterback's world. I remember going back to the draft and everyone attaching Daniels to the Raiders, and I was sitting there going, I wouldn't if I were the Raiders, because you don't have an offensive line, to your point, that's really going to allow the skill set of the back to shine. And so this is a back that doesn't get the ball to the line of scrimmage enough, meaning he's getting hit or contacted or having to change his course way more often than not when it comes to getting to the line of scrimmage. And so I still think he's a really talented player. I don't know if he's got enough wow burst. Like when you think of the really special backs in the league right now, you're going to say players like obviously a Christian McCaffrey. You're going to say a player like a Jahmyr Gibbs. He doesn't necessarily have that skill set. He's more of that bruiser type of back. And so he hasn't had like the opportunity necessarily to really impact games in that way. But you're not going to really know about Daniels till probably year 3 because the Raiders really have to rebuild that offensive line.
What the Packers did in the second half against Pittsburgh was quite impressive on Monday night. I was talking to a Packers fan last night. They're number 1. They're the bye in the NFC right now. It's a long way to go. I asked him the question, do you think you're the best team in the NFC? So I'll ask you the same thing. Are the Packers the NFC's best team?
I don't think so. I still believe Detroit's the best team in that division, in that conference. I think Detroit's the best team in the NFL. But Green Bay's very good, very good. But there's a couple things that still I want to see Green Bay do better. Number 1, their offensive line has not played that well this year. They get beat at the point far too often. They get physically kind of one-on-one beat up in their matchups. So that's got to get better because I think then that allows them to run the football more consistently. The second thing is they have to challenge people on the perimeter from a defensive perspective more. Reroute people. I still think at times their corners give a little too much cushion in the pass game, specifically with a player like Micah, who's been ridiculously good this year. Micah's stats aren't as good when it comes to like quarterback hits and actual sacks as his performances because the coverage isn't changing the timing of a pass game enough from an offensive. So I believe Detroit does that better on both different fronts. And so Green Bay, very good. Jordan Love's playing awesome. He was my preseason MVP pick. They got to get healthy with Reed. Christian Watson being back is a big deal. Green Bay's very, very good.
Okay, I saw, again, no audio, but in fact, it's on TV 5 in here now. Dan says Sunday's a must-win game for the Bills. I'm looking at my standings here. The Bills are 5-2. Tell me, give me the audio version of why it's a must-win.
They got to make people go to Western New York to get to the Super Bowl. And for me, it's very clear who's the one team they can't get past, right? It's been Kansas City in the playoffs. I go to last season specifically, and I go to the regular season game that was played in Buffalo. And Josh Allen has that crazy run on 4th down because he knows what the defense is, and that's that game sealer. And then I go to the playoff game that happens in Kansas City, and I go to that 4th down and that crazy pressure that Steve Spagnuolo, the defensive coordinator from the Chiefs, brings that Josh runs around from. He throws up a toaster. Kincaid almost makes a type of Hail Mary dive and catch. They got to make him come to Buffalo. They got to control the thing when it comes to the tempo, the ability to change, the ability to hear and be quiet at home. To beat Kansas City, they got to make them come to Buffalo. And so that, for me, it's not the must win when it comes to, are you going to get in, win the division? This is must win when it comes to the big picture of what the expectation is in Buffalo and what's the best way to finally get over that unbelievable hump. It's to make Kansas City or anybody else go to Buffalo.
So since having that 15-point fourth quarter lead week 1 in Buffalo, Baltimore, the only games they've won are the Browns and last weekend against the Bears. You get Lamar back tonight against a struggling Dolphins team, albeit coming off maybe their best performance.
I was there, Lance. They blew out Atlanta.
What are your expectations? I mean, I still have this feeling that Baltimore wins this division. I don't know what you think, but what do you expect from Lamar Jackson? And if you were at a Vegas window and you had to tell me who wins the AFC North, who is it right now?
Yeah, I expect total domination tonight. That's what I want to see out of the Ravens. And I would just say, I've said that the Ravens are like this lurking unknown giant. Last year, this was a historically great offense. When it comes to rushing average and yards per play, they were historically good. Most of that offense is back this year, talent-wise. We just haven't seen them play because of injuries. There has not been a single snap by Baltimore that it's had Lamar, Derrick Henry, DeAndre Hopkins, Isaiah Likely, Patrick Ricard. Not one snap. Tonight will be that first time. So, it's a little bit of who exactly are they this year? Because are they going to be what they were last year offensively now that they're healthy? Much better on defense recently. And so they're like this giant that is just sitting there lurking at 2-5. And if they win tonight, and the reason why I say domination, and I agree, Miami's best performance, it was probably the most physical performance that they've had under Mike McDaniel. But if Baltimore is going to be what many people thought they were 3 months ago, which is a Super Bowl contender, they should go beat up on Miami tonight. Who do I think is going to win the division? I wouldn't be surprised if Baltimore does. I'm still leaning Pittsburgh because they're of their lead. I'm disappointed in the way that they've given it away a little bit in the past 2 weeks, and I think they'll regret that. But I would not be surprised if Baltimore comes back for it.
We don't talk strength of schedules a lot in the NFL, but if you're looking at Baltimore's record, it is fair to say, though, that their losses are to Buffalo, Detroit, Kansas City, Houston, and the Rams. They've lost to playoff teams other than the Texans.
Yeah, and they just haven't been healthy. They're Patrick Ricard hasn't been around. Isaiah Likely hasn't been around. Obviously, Lamar hasn't been around. They've had some defensive issues, and Matabike is not going to be there. I don't subscribe to the theory that this is a completely different football team, specifically on the offensive side from last year. They just weren't healthy enough. And so I'm very interested to see how they look tonight.
I've planned my entire day around a game Dan Orlovsky has just told me is going to be complete domination. Dan tells us that on the Shannara hotline. I mean,
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so from the Baltimore perspective. I'm not hating on Miami. Again, I was very impressed with tonight's a playoff game. If Miami somehow shocks everybody and wins, then they're a little bit more like, oh, well, maybe can they go on a run and somehow get hot as a football team? So, but I think that would be the surprising outcome.
Boy, watching that game in person, though, Sunday, Dan, on the other side, I mean, that Atlanta offense, I know it was Kirk Cousins. That's a mess of an offense, though, for a team that could still potentially win that division.
Yeah, I would say I agree with you, and this is kind of like why I've had some frustrations. Talented, right? I'm sure you saw that. There, you're like, whoa, this is a talented group, in a severe way. Here's the thing, though: the style of football they play, and I love the coaches there. I'm not, like, very smart people. I don't think there's a major counterpunch to that style, and so you're very dependent on the talent shining. And so they live in a world where, like, man, when it's on, it's so impressive. But that's why there's this roller coaster experience with this team, because sometimes when they're on, you're like, this team is as talented offensively as anybody. But then when the talent maybe isn't dominating in that game, it's like, what's the counterpunch to the thing that they major in to try to create some advantage?
So this Texans defense pretty dominant. And if C.J. Stroud can play with a little more consistency, they've won 3 of 4, probably best overall performance this past weekend in Houston against the 49ers. Do you think the Texans turn the corner and make it, I don't know if they can catch the Colts, but could they make a run at a playoff spot?
I think they can make a run at a playoff spot, yes. I don't believe they'll catch the Colts. You mentioned defensively, I think points per game, it's still the best defense in the NFL. And they play at a style. I mean, D'Amico Ryan's their head coach. When we asked him about him, we said, listen, this defense just hunts. They hunt offenses. And he said, that's the way we demand our guys to play. And I've told them, if you don't want to play that way, that's fine. Just go find a different team to play that style for. You're not going to do it in Houston. So there's a mindset. And Willie Anderson is a freaking problem, dude. He physically hurts people. Offensively, last week, San Francisco couldn't get near CJ, and he was absolutely tremendous. They got their 2 young receivers, Jalen Knoll and Jalen Higgins, going from Iowa State. If those 2 young players continue to develop and CJ can continue to mitigate that poor offensive line, I think the offense can do enough.
I've done this long enough I know that sometimes smoke leads to fire, but that smoke comes out too early. Last week, Steve Sarkisian was having to put out, and his agent Jimmy Sexton and CAA were having to put out a fire about it being discussed that he could possibly be a future NFL coach, that he was interested in the NFL, possibly the Titans. Do you think Steve Sarkisian one day is an NFL coach? Is there a desire and appetite of NFL owners for college coaches still?
Oh, I think there is, yeah. And I think that Sark is plenty capable of being an NFL coach. Super smart. He's running, or, at least trying to run a very similar NFL program down at Texas. You guys know this world a little bit better than me, but just look at over the last 20 years, 25 years, outside of Coach Saban, how long in the tooth is SEC coaching? It's just a daunting experience. Yeah. There's just not a lot of coaches that go and coach in the SEC, and they're at places for 6 or 7 years. At least in the past, that's my perception of it. So now that Texas is in the SEC, I think it's a huge challenge. Obviously, Texas is a premier institution and program. But I know Coach Sark, he was my coach at the Senior Bowl, is very, very, very good football coach, and I could see him being part of the NFL, absolutely.
If Brian Dable is out at the end of the year, how appealing is the job if Scatterbo comes back 100%, Malik Neighbors?
Huge.
What you've got with defensive closers on that defensive line, I mean, you've got to be excited if you're a New York Giants fan, right?
There is no doubt about it. With that quarterback and just the competitiveness that he's displayed, also his ability to play. This isn't, a feel-good story in New York right now. We're like, hey, this quarterback's really competitive. He stinks, but he wants to win. Like, this dude's playing at a really high level right now. Your point, Malik, Scatterbo, Theo Johnson's a really nice young tight end. I think their offensive line's played pretty good as well. And Joe Shane's last couple of drafts have been pretty darn good. So, yeah, I mean, I'm a Dable guy, and I think Dable, I'm hoping he – that team does enough for him to keep that job. But if not, and the reality of that business sets in, it's going to be a big-time appealing place.
Yeah, great value, Baker Mayfield. That's Jackson Dart, in my opinion.
I like that.
Yeah. Oh, Dan likes it. All right, by the way, if you've got a kid that you want to introduce to Monday Night Football, Dan, it was announced this week, will be part of the Monsters, Inc. game, Week 14.
Yeah.
It's Eagles, Chargers. Our buddy Drew Carter. Did you work with Drew at 42?
Yeah, here in Birmingham at the CBS affiliate.
Yeah, CBS affiliate. Yeah, Drew will do play-by-play. Yeah, he's a great guy, and you'll do the analysts. That'll be a fun game. The alternate broadcast on that Monday Night Football.
Yeah, those are such a fun experience. I got the opportunity to do it for the first time last year with the Simpsons, and they're very cool. It reaches a different fan base. It's a great NFL game. I have a 14-year-old or soon-to-be 14-year-old autistic son, and his superpower is animation and drawing. He loves movies, specifically Disney and Pixar movies. So Monsters, Inc. and Monsters U are huge favorites of his. So it was a no-brainer for me to be a part of again, just because of some of the things that he's, very much so kind of attached to. So it'll be a super fun event.
Yeah, so first thing I thought of when I saw it was the connection you and your son will have in that, because we saw his drawing ability last year on NFL Live, which is really cool.
I hope they don't drop a Randall Boggs head over you. That's not a compliment. Not a compliment.
All right, he is Dan Orlovsky. See him all weekend talking college football and the NFL on ESPN. Safe travels, Dan. Thank you very much for the time as always.
Guys, have a great weekend. Thank you.
All right, buddy. You too. Dan with us on the Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys Hotline.
And the show being brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. So when things aren't running right, flowing right, or draining right, you call our friends at Hemp Hill.
205-229-2090. Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys are waiting your call. If you have any issues, look, you need to make sure the heat is keeping up with this changing weather. You got any plumbing issues, they are there for you. Trust the name. Birmingham's trusted since 1954 for any and all of these issues. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
As Coach Matt Rule, buddy of ours, does his weekly appearance with Pat McAfee, it is starting to break now that, in fact, he has done a 2-year contract extension this morning. Pete Thamel reporting it now includes a $15 million buyout, which, as Pete says, that eliminates him from any coaching cycle rumors. That would be the largest buyout ever.
So it's 15 that he would pay the school if he leaves.
The school gets, if he leaves, $15 million, which...
Landing is 20, and everybody says that takes him off the
I think that, sorry, Lance, but I think the record is what Alabama paid Washington for Kalen DeBoer, which is, I think, just north of $10 million. I think that's the biggest buyout ever paid to hire a coach away from a school.
I randomly met this big Penn State booster a couple of weeks ago. He was in Tuscaloosa for his first time ever, and he was talking about the Matt Rule situation. He's like, a lot of guys behind the scenes don't want Matt Rule.
I know. It's one of those complicated things.
And you just wonder what direction Penn State's going to – I think the best available coach is Brian Kelly, and maybe he fits better with Penn State.
The guy that just got fired at LSU.
I really do.
Yeah. Maybe he does, but he's 64. I mean, Brian Hartline's a name I mentioned earlier. Yeah, but when I think of that offense, I know he took it over from Ryan Day, but I always think that's Ryan Day's offense.
God, he is so well respected.
Yeah.
A guy that's been in that program forever is such a young guy. I mean, obviously knows the landscape of the Big Ten, can recruit. I mean, Hartline would be an interesting choice, but if you want a proven head coach, I know he just got fired, but Brian Kelly's that guy.
Yeah, no break. The computer, Tyler has got a computer that is going down, so we can't do it.
Well, I wanted to bring this up because when we started the Orlovsky, I know it sounded weird, but from Yahoo Sports, story by the Sporting News, headline, Raiders' Ashton Daniels has gotten 101% of his rushing yards after contact this season.
I just think mathematically the question is, how can you have more than 100%?
I know, rushing yards. I guess maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's, I'm sure Will Hunting, some of these math whizzes could tell us how that works, but that's this article.
I will search on AI on how you can have 101% of something. You tell me. Penn State, Ohio State this weekend. I mean, they got Jim Knowles at Penn State. How does Penn State win this game? Can Penn State shock the world this weekend in Columbus?
Well, keep Julian saying off the field. He's, throwing multiple touchdowns every single game. I mean, you've still got arguably the best backfield in all of college football with Singleton and Allen. And if, it wasn't long ago. It wasn't like, in a land far, far away where they were in double overtime with Oregon. So, they have got the potential, and they've still
also
got
when they had their starting quarterback.
The talent, I get that. But, again, these running backs are going to have to take it over. You're going to have an opportunistic defense that somehow turns saying over, and you got to limit those possessions. I mean, I don't really see a path to victory because they're a 3-touchdown underdog that has lost 4 consecutive conference games. But if there is a path, it's +3 in turnovers, and it's running for 200 yards.
I mean, we haven't really seen Ohio State have their bad game that we know of. I mean,
I don't even know if they've had a good game.
Oh, really? You don't even think you've seen Ohio State take a game? They've not been forced to have one.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you give me the stat again on Genty? I've got an AI answer.
Yeah. Again, this is just the headline of the article. Raiders' Ashton Daniels has gotten 101% of his rushing yards after contact this season.
According to AI, growth and changes over time. If you compare a current value to a previous one, the new value can easily exceed over 100%.
I guess the 101% they're saying he's hit in the backfield, so he's getting back to the line and then some.
That says this, and this is just the article. That sounds illogical, but it actually makes sense. Running backs usually are handed the ball behind the line of scrimmage, but they don't gain official yardage until they're beyond the line.
That's why it's confusing, right? Because the yardage doesn't start totaling until he's beyond the line.
Does that show you the uphill battle that Ashton Daniels is dealing with right now?
Yes,
so I just wanted to point out that, quietly, and I'm just trying to make myself feel better because I took him in the first round of my fantasy draft instead of Puka. Puka's missed a couple of games, but I still think Gentie's going to be an absolute stud.
The show being brought to you by our friend Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. They bring us the spotlight. It's the taste of Brown today as Brown takes us on the road. Tell us about Alexander Shannara, Brown.
This is going to be a personal one, too. I have been to this place, and I'm going to show you photos from my trip to this place. Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. They bring you the Shannara Spotlight. It is a national firm with southern roots, headquartered right here in Birmingham for 24 years. And they've grown to more than 150 lawyers, supported by more than 500 dedicated team members. Their elite attorneys have recovered more than $2 billion, maintaining Alexander Shannara's core values of integrity, mastery, passion, and success. You pay nothing unless they win your case at Shannara. Alexander Shannara, trial attorneys, Shannara.com, Shannara.com. Vanderbilt is at Texas. You guys, I think all of us have been to Austin, right?
Yep.
One thing Austin and the state of Texas know for is great Texas barbecue. When you go to Austin, there's a lot of arguments about where you go.
It's normally brisket, right?
Brisket is good there. The locals told me Franklin is great. Everybody talks about Franklin. Go to Terry Black's. So I went to Terry Black's. There I am standing in front of Terry Black's barbecue. They got the smoker right there. Now, this is the original location. There are other
good
locations.
shirt, by the way.
Thank you. It's available at nextround.store. There's my much younger daughter. By the way, that's just last summer or 2 summers ago, and she has grown so much since then. Putting the Next Round sticker on one of the fence posts there at Terry Black's Barbecue. The real star, though, inside Terry Black's when you start to get that food. And it's one of those places where you order by the pound. That is what we went with right there. You got a little sausage. You got one of the dinosaur beef ribs. They talk about some turkey, some of the sides. The one I would have done without is the green beans.
Is that your tray?
No, that's the family tray.
Okay, I was
Good
about to say,
Lord.
my God.
That would kill you. A little bit of the sliced brisket. It was all fantastic. That's all that was left right there, as I show you.
Yeah, half the greens.
Half the green beans. You don't waste your time on the greens, though. It was all fantastic. I highly recommend Terry Black's. Right there in Austin, Texas, Terry Black's Real Pit Barbecue. If you want the taste of Texas barbecue, Terry Black's is the place to go. It is absolutely terrific.
And that's the Shannara Spotlight today, brought to you by Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. We'll get to trash here right now. Trash is brought to you every day by our friends at Alabama Power. Tell us about Alabama Power, Brown.
Yeah, Alabama Power, the people that want to make sure, obviously, you like power to stay on, but you also want to make sure you're paying the bill the right way. So is your bill higher than expected? Changes in energy use, especially with Alabama's crazy weather, could be the reason why. Check out Alabama Power's free My Power Usage tool. It helps you track how much energy you're using, and when you're using it, it's a great way to spot patterns and avoid surprises. Plus, Alabama Power offers easy tips to help you save. Visit alabamapower.com/mypowerusage to learn how to manage your usage and keep costs in check with our friends at Alabama Power. Hit it, Tyler.
Like, okay, now I got to finish. And finishing on a guy that size is harder than you think.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Kirby.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. This is disgusting, Tyler. But if breast milk flavored ice cream wasn't enough, what about boogers?
Hard pass.
Now, Frida is a parent lifestyle brand known for its breast milk ice cream, released Boogie Bites Candy on Monday, October 27th. Now, the sweet and sour gummies, which come in 3 shapes and colors, were designed to resemble the, quote, real thing, a Frida news release says. Boogie Bites are not the first of their kind. Jelly Belly's Bean Boozled, which hit shelves in 2007. Long popular game that pairs 2 jelly beans that look alike but taste dramatically different. One of the original flavor combinations was booger and juicy pear. Now, rather than a game, Frida released its gummies to promote Noza Frida, the brand's nasal aspirator that can be used to remove nasal congestion in babies and young children. Frida made headlines this summer after releasing breast milk flavored ice cream, not actually made with real human milk. The ice cream featured a sweet, quote, salty smooth with hints of honey and sprinkles of colostrum, and features a distinct colostrum yellow tinge.
I've never understood the people that eat their boogers.
Ugh.
And those people exist. It's not just a made-up thing. Those people really do it. I've never really understood the appeal. I don't know why you would do it.
Tom Asbury?
He did it one time. Got caught on camera. I mean, it could have been a single-time offender, but I think you're kind of labeled for life at that point.
Woman is demanding $50,000 from SeaWorld after her fun roller coaster-filled day took a foul turn. Just reading the writing here. Woman's lawsuit filed on Monday said she was riding the park's Mako roller coaster back in March when a duck flew into the coaster's path, hitting her directly in the face. I do remember seeing this go viral. Woman said she was knocked unconscious by the crash. Woman's lawsuit said SeaWorld should have warned her about the dangerous condition of the park before she got on the ride and called the coaster a, quote, zone of danger that placed her in harm's way. They went on to say, according to her attorney, SeaWorld created a zone of danger for bird strikes due to placing the roller coaster over a near body of water, which creates a higher risk of bird strikes involving ducks, gulls, geese, and other waterfowl. Now, the lawsuit also claimed the Mako roller coaster disoriented birds and increased the risk of collision.
If I'm on the jury, or if I'm the judge, or I guess if I'm the other attorney, I say you're the dummy that got on the coaster. This is on you. I mean, you got on the coaster. You saw the water there. You knew birds are near water. You got on the coaster. This one's on you.
You guys ever been to SeaWorld?
Nope. I don't.
Little overrated.
No, I've never been to SeaWorld. I don't think
Discovery Cove was the place to go in Orlando. But SeaWorld had a good animal show where, like, the rats and the cats and the dogs were all doing tricks. It's probably the highlight of it.
Rats?
Yeah.
Rats were, like actual rats were doing tricks? Like they were trained rats?
Yep.
I know you can train a rat.
They apparently did it.
I guess at enough voltage you can get animal to do about anything, probably.
Robotics company 1X has unveiled its Neo housekeeper robot, which will do all of your chores and be your best friend for $20,000. Now, it doesn't say what you do with your wife if you pay the $20,000 for this, but for years, having a humanoid robot do your housework for you didn't seem like it would be a reality. Sci-fi movies, TV shows have given a blueprint, but making them into a real thing has been something companies have been trying to crack forever. With 2025 drawing to a close, a number of companies have since revealed robots that very well fit that bill. We've seen Figure AI unveil their Figure 03 humanoid. Tesla's been developing its Optimus bots, and there have been UB Tech Robotics from China as the Walker S2 working in certain industries. Well, now 1X has showcased its $20,000 NeoBot, which will do all of your chores, be your companion, and make life easier, starting to ship in 2026. I do wonder how many people are like, hey, I don't want to deal with a husband or wife anymore. I'm just going to get one of these for $20,000.
NeoBot, I can turn it off when it gets on my nerves.
Especially if they're going to do the housework, man. How awesome is that?
Yeah. They end up killing you, Lance. That's how this goes. NeoBot kills you in your sleep.
Probably so. But, if you're out there, there's some people that pay housekeepers.
Right.
You just wonder if you start doing the math.
Yeah. So me telling you they kill you in your sleep and you still are like, yeah, but it doesn't seem like a bad deal.
Well, delivery scheduled for sometime in 2026, at least for those in the U.S. who decide to join the early access period by splashing down $20,000.
But don't you, this is how the movie would go, right? Somebody hacks the NeoBot and they start killing people.
I wonder if this could become an employee. Pretty cheap employee, right? Get it to run around and do things.
One-time payment, $20,000.
That's right. You don't even have to pay them every month.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Rodents from across the state of Texas competed in Texas Parks and Wildlife's inaugural Fat Squirrel Week, with a squirrel named Chunkosaurus Rex taking the top spot. Fat Squirrel Week, inspired by the Katmai National Park's annual Fat Bear Week, aimed to find the fattest squirrel across all of the Texas state parks. Now, Chunkosaurus Rex, resident of the Dinosaur Valley State Park in the Glen Rose area, was crowned the competition's first ever winner after a bracket-style competition using social media likes as votes. Chunkosaurus Rex faced off in the finals against Chunk Norris and fellow Final Four squirrels Nutella and Stanley the Texas Tank. Now, Chunkosaurus is the fan favorite, according to this article. Contest was aimed at celebrating Texas's native rodents as they packed on the pounds for winter. Dinosaur Valley, quote, is proud to be the home of this behemoth. We appreciate all the support for Chunkosaurus Rex during this hard-fought battle. Dinosaur Valley State Park said on social media.
This is the ripoff of the bear thing you gave us earlier this year?
It's inspired by it, yes.
Yeah.
Tyler's a nice way of saying it's a ripoff. It's inspired by it, yeah.
Chunk Norris.
I like Chunk Norris. That's the best one.
That's all I got.
That is Trash Today, brought to you in part by our friends at Coca-Cola as game day comes rolling back. Tyler, if you can get me cut number 4 and then 8 ready. Coca-Cola, your game day deserves the great taste of Coke Zero Sugar because fan work is thirsty work. Whether you're an Alabama or an Auburn fan, enjoy the great taste of Coke Zero Sugar. Kentucky coming to play Auburn. Things swirling about maybe the massive buyout of Mark Stoops' contract still, or maybe Mark goes to another job and leaves Kentucky. You got players now that occasionally opt out when things aren't going well. Not going well at Kentucky right now. On the road to Jordan-Hare, is there a fear about guys letting go of the rope? Here's Mark Stoops.
No, I really don't. These guys have had a very strong mindset, and their attitude has been right the entire time. It is difficult. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, the guys have worked very hard, and that's why we're all disappointed, one way or another. And, a loss is a loss, and it doesn't feel good. And your pride gets bruised and hurt, and you get battered up as the year goes on. But you have to pick yourself back up. You have to have a strong attitude and mindset, and you have to embrace the process, the week and how you go about it, and engulf yourself in that and the preparation. And then, as a coach, I know that makes you feel a heck of a lot better.
Now, they scored 34 on Tennessee last week.
And I was about to mention that Cutter Boley, now Tennessee's defense is not good, but Cutter Boley threw for 330 and 5 touchdowns on them. You mentioned he's played better football of late, and I scoffed at it. But, Lance, real quick, his last 3 games, 225, 258, 330, 7 touchdowns, 3 picks. I bet you.
He has played a lot better.
I bet you in the Stoops era, I'm almost willing to say the entire Stoops era, but
best
I'm not.
Three-game stretch?
Best 3-game stretch any quarterback's ever had in the Stoops era. I bet you he has.
Statistically, maybe. Even with that 3-game stretch, they're only averaging 24 points per game.
That's Kentucky football.
It has been an awful offense, and now you're going against one of the better defenses in college football on the road. Not a great recipe for a team that just can't find a conference win right now. But on the other side, Auburn's offense has been garbage as well.
I would be willing to bet in the Stoops era, there has not been another time where a quarterback has had 3 consecutive games of 220-plus passing. And Jimmy's done that at number 5 Georgia, against number 20 Texas, and against number 14 Tennessee. Now, Tennessee's defense isn't good. I get it. But Georgia's and Texas defense, they play pretty good.
What year did Stoops win 10 games?
Oh, gosh, I have no earthly idea.
Won't score a touchdown this weekend.
Yeah, you say 20-3.
Yeah.
That guy's played pretty good football, though. I mean, for Kentucky quarterbacks, but really for any most teams would take the numbers he's put up the last 3 weeks.
Offensive line is garbage, and you will have a big, big game from Xavier Atkins and Keldrick Falk and Robert Woodyard, big Bobby Jamison Travis, big number 97. Big game for Auburn's defense this weekend.
Yeah, last 10 wins real quick, 2021, and Levis was the quarterback.
Yeah, I guarantee you didn't have 3 straight games like that.
Here was one.
The year when Liam Cohen was there was pretty good.
So Levis went 372 in a loss, 45-42 to Tennessee. Then he only went 177 in the win against Vanderbilt, but then he went 419 against New Mexico State.
The overall numbers are good.
Yeah, so those are pretty close.
But that's also New Mexico State in there. That's not exactly the stretch that Boley just played.
Second worst scoring defense in the SEC, because on the flip side of them scoring 34, they gave up 56 to Tennessee last week. So that's why Ashton Daniels and Jackson Arnold are fighting so hard at practice. Both of them want to get out there and score on a putrid defense from Kentucky. Fun night in Jordan-Hare Stadium. Meanwhile, Indiana, on their way to play Maryland. Curt Cignetti, he knows you guys don't like his scheduling out of conference. They play nobody. But when you're in the Big Ten, you got to play Big Ten teams. And in the Big Ten, Maryland, who, what was that stat I showed you earlier? 3-12?
Yeah.
Against Power 4 conference teams since the start of last year. Maryland, man, they're so good. In fact, Forrester says Cignetti makes it sound like they're playing the 1985 Bears this weekend.
Okay, at Maryland, 3:30 homecoming game. Good football team. They're in the top 10 in the country in turnover ratio. They've got a new defensive coordinator. It's been in the NFL for 16 years, was linebacker coach for the Ravens. 2 Super Bowls there. They have 14 interceptions, 22 sacks. They're giving up 17 points a game. Their offense is only giving up 2 sacks. And they're outscoring people the first 3 quarters, 175-50. Got an excellent punter, excellent field goal kicker, short snapper, long snapper. And, they're doing a lot of good things.
It's like you went to his assistants. All right, guys, I got to go do this weekly news conference.
I just don't think you have to sell it.
Can you give me everything they actually do well? Just give me a list of things they do well.
Surprisingly, the Malik Williams, your freshman quarterback, gets all the headlines from Mike Loxley, but their defense has been a top 20 scoring defense, but they can't run the football, so they're very one-dimensional offensively. But if you're Sig, why don't you just hey, I'm 19-2. Do you guys know the worst overall winning percentage for any Power 4 in the history of college football?
Of all the Power 4 teams,
their all-time winning record.
I mean, Indiana's in the discussion. I'd say Vanderbilt, Indiana, Kansas, Rutgers. That's going to be your group there.
I'm going to say...
It was on that list that you showed earlier, by the way.
I'm going to say... Wake Forest, then Indiana.
It's very good. Wake Forest and Indiana.
Well done, Jim.
Wake Forest has it just shows you the job he's doing. I mean, Indiana legitimately was one of the worst Power 4 programs out there. The guy is 19-2, and it's going to be nearly impossible for him not to go to back-to-back college football playoffs.
No, it's an incredible job. I mean, what he's done at Indiana, I don't care.
Do you not agree that he doesn't need to sell this stuff?
No, he's dumbed down the non-conference schedule. You cannot argue that. It's a terrible non-conference schedule, but we're also talking about Indiana football here. Vanderbilt doesn't play a great non-conference schedule, and we sing the praises of Clark Lee, right? Now, the difference is Vanderbilt's in-conference has been much more difficult than what Indiana has played. That is not Indiana's fault. They cannot control their in-conference schedule. They've got the benefit of a favorable in-conference schedule over the last couple of years, but they went on the road and beat Oregon. I mean, that's the best team they're going to be asked to play in the Big Ten this year until they get to the championship game.
So I'll ask you guys, why do you play appealing out-of-conference games?
Generally now, there's some recruiting involved, but to sell tickets now.
Okay. What I was going to bring up, and I'm glad you answered it like that because I agree. I think it's to sell tickets. If you're Indiana, you finally have a good product. So I think people are going to come out regardless of who you're playing in the out-of-conference schedule because now you have a winning product finally.
Right.
You're in the Big Ten, so as long as you do what you need to do in conference play, you're going to get to college football playoffs. So I don't have a problem with Indiana scheduling like this. Alabama needs to schedule really good out-of-conference games.
Yeah, I don't know what incentivizes him to schedule future out-of-conference games. Apparently nothing because their out-of-conference moving forward is awful. The only Power 5 out-of-conference game they have currently scheduled, okay, is Notre Dame in 2030 and 2031. Other than that, they're playing Old Dominion, Kennesaw State, Indiana State, North Texas, Howard, Western Kentucky, UMass, Austin Peay, Eastern Michigan, Miami of Ohio, and Delaware. That's who they've got scheduled out of conference. So it is not changing anytime soon for them. It's awful.
Alabama has their place already locked into the college football playoff rankings. The first one is released coming up Tuesday night, 7 o'clock Central on ESPN. The first committee ranking happens Tuesday night. Some games that will impact where teams are coming up this weekend. You can go play our Pick 3 game at nextroundlive.com. Nextroundlive.com, brought to you by our friends at Buffalo Wild Wings and our friends at Breakline, all the way up until 11 o'clock on Saturday. Nextroundlive.com. Go play the Buffalo Wild Wing Pick 3 right there. A couple of games impacting the playoffs. We mentioned it earlier. Vanderbilt, an underdog on the road at Texas. Loser of this game, Vandy could be way down the rankings than where they want to be. Texas could be out of the conversation with a loss. Quick lean here, not a lanceslock.com play. How do you think this game plays out, Lance, and then Brownie?
I think Vanderbilt wins the game. I mean, Vanderbilt's got, top 15 scoring offense, top 25 scoring defense. Pavia, like him or hate him, the guy's playing with a ton of confidence, and they're even winning, when he's not putting up big numbers. And, even if Arch comes back, he's probably not going to be 100%. If he doesn't, then, you've got a backup making his first start ever at Texas. I think this is all brand. I think if this is anybody else, Vanderbilt's probably a 3.5, 4.5 point favorite because it's Texas. I think you're getting really a lot of value right here with the Commodores.
It feels like water normally finds its level, and I think that's what's going to happen here. I think the water is going to find its level. Texas is actually going to get this win. We're going to bring Vanderbilt back down close to where they are, and Texas back up closer to where they normally are.
Sounds like what I always say about the NFL. Cut 5, Tyler, if you will. Steve Sarkisian gets asked about shifting his team's mentality now, even though they're a favorite. They're back at home. It's been a month since they played a home game down in Austin.
Sark, for a month you've been preparing to go on the road every week, and that mentality you need to take on the road. Now you come home, you're excited about that. Is there kind of an emotional shift? Okay, now we got to approach it with the friendly confines as opposed to being the enemy.
Yeah, I think there's a fine line. In games like this, I listen to other coaches talk a lot of the time about relying on the fans to provide the energy into the stadium. And I know Longhorn Nation is going to show up Saturday at 11 a.m. But we need to make sure we provide energy for them too. And part of that is our style of play, the speed in which we play with, the violence in which we play the game with. That keeps the crowd energized, and so it's a two-way street there. And so we can't just go into this thinking, hey, we're at home and now we got our fans and everything's going to be great. No, they're an added bonus. We still need to play, our brand, our style of football against a very good football team.
Noticeable empty seats at 11 a.m. in this game.
There will be, you think?
Yeah.
Really?
In my opinion, I think there'll be noticeable empty seats.
Do you think that's a
No, not a referendum on Sark. I think it is Texas. 2 losses, right?
Yeah.
2 losses, not a lot of buzz. 11 a.m. kick in Austin.
Yeah, and I think opponent has a lot to do with it too, Jim.
And it's a big stadium.
It's a top 10 opponent.
It's me.
Yeah, but it's Vanderbilt.
But it's still it's a game that
you don't plan your trip to Austin if you're a Texas fan for the Vandy weekend.
They were so lucky to survive in this spot last year. I mean, let's not forget that they win 27-24, and Quinn Ewers played his ass off in that game. And I would ask you guys this: if Vanderbilt played Mississippi State or Kentucky, what happens?
I think they would beat them both, regardless of where you play the game.
And I think they'd win the game probably going away, and Texas was fortunate to win either one of those games in overtime.
No, I'm not saying that Texas – I agree with Jim. I just think it's opponent, name brand, and it's a sleepy 11 o'clock start. I don't think the fans will bring their energy. I don't think the crowd is going to have an impact here. To me, the biggest storyline in this game – is an if Matthew Caldwell comes out here and plays well and their offense looks more fluid than it has looked all year. Now you've got a bye week before you play Georgia. What do you do if you're Sark?
100,119 seats at DKR. Upper deck, where a lot of Vandy people sit, by the way.
Yeah, there will be some. That's part of it, too, as the opponent returns. Vandy won't travel well to this.
Not a huge traveling team. I think you'll have some, if they give you that shot, you'll have some noticeable empty seats, upper parts of the upper deck. And keep in mind, Halloween night, 11 a.m. for the students.
Party night?
Next day. That's a quick turn from Halloween night to 11 a.m. kick for your football game. Not an intense atmosphere for Texas to lean on in that contest. Final thoughts right here. Arizona State, with one of the more damning availability reports you'll ever see. They're on the road at Iowa State. It's supposed to be a big game, right? 11 a.m. on TNT, by the way, TNT. Here's the availability report. Out, running back Brown, DB Alford, wide receiver Johnson, quarterback Levitt, quarterback Hunt, linebacker Iosefa, DB Romano, offensive lineman Jefferson, tight end Fortier, defensive lineman Swatson. Rouser's out the first half because of targeting. Doubtful Jordan Tyson, wide receiver, and Romney, linebacker. I mean, you've got Levitt out doubtful Tyson. Arizona State going into a beatdown against Iowa State.
Yeah, probably so. And, Dillingham's going to, go unscathed. And, look, I'm not saying his job's in jeopardy. It shouldn't be. But, he's going to have these excuses with these injuries, and maybe they're legitimate excuses. But I think the biggest problem is you had a generational player in Scattaboo. They've lost, they've won 5 of their last 9, so 5 and 4 of their last 9 out. And, the good news is outside of this weekend, you've got 3 games that they should be able to cruise at the end of the year. So, when it's all said and done, they're probably going to go 8-4 and following up, winning a Big 12 championship. That's not bad.
That's not really bad at Arizona State, 8-4. I know you wanted more this year, but if you take a 2-year, portrait there, that's better than Arizona State's been in a very long time.
That is our show today. We're back with you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central Time. A fantastic Bama and Bourbon is out with Aaron Suttles and Lance. Drink bourbon, talk a little bourbon, but also Alabama football. You can get that wherever you get our podcasts and also on our YouTube channel right there. A new Last Call drops. I set that alert. Last one was out for Last Call.
Tuesday. There should be another one today, yeah.
Another one coming out soon for Last Call with Mick and Jake Coker there. And don't forget post-game when we get back to Alabama playing games again, happening on a week from Saturday right here on this Next Round platform. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.